Teams are in survival mode tonight as we cross into the second half of the season. Tonight's featured matchup is in 7A Region 1 between the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings and the Theodore Bobcats. Hello everyone, I'm Tim Finnegan alongside my broadcast partner Howard McCain, bringing you tonight's Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. And Howard, in this matchup, two teams who their season could be over if they don't pull off a victory.
Yeah, and neither team wants to be in that position. And I'm pretty sure coming into this season, neither team want to be where they are. But look, you are where you are. And as Nick Saban says all the time, you are who you are. And these teams know exactly who they are. And they also know coming into tonight's game, Tim, exactly what they have to do in order for them to be able to make it into the playoffs and most of all be in the playoff hunt.
Well, we've talked about how important depth is for a lot of these teams, especially when every game counts every single week in 7A. And both of these programs have been hit hard by the injury bug. Last time we were here for MGM versus Murphy, 3 key starters went down for the Vikings, but they've been able to be resilient, reload, and in the last 2 weeks, they're on a 2-game win streak.
Yeah, when we were here, we saw one of their best playmakers for Mary G. Montgomery, David Miller, and that was against Blunt. We saw him go down with a leg injury, and we could see him just in a lot of pain on the sideline for Mary G. Montgomery as the trainer tried to put this guy back together again, but there was just no doing. He tried to make a go of it, I believe, last week, but, bless his heart, he just couldn't go, so they're going to be without one of their big playmakers, and trust me, they are going to adjust. Mike Dean is going to make sure that these guys not forget what the game plan is, not forget what the goal for the season is, Tim, and that's to improve and hopefully get into the playoffs.
Well, if they win, they have a fighting chance to continue throughout the rest of the season, but they have to win out a tall task. But Mike Dean's Vikings are taking it one day at a time, and it starts tonight against the Theodore Bobcats. Eric Collier tying his all-time career-high win total with victory last week over Greene County, putting the Bobcats at 4 on the season. They are continuing the momentum as they chase the Murphy Panthers in the number 4 spot. A lot of things shifting around. If you look at the 7A Region 1 schedules, half of the teams had an emphasis on in-region games in the very beginning, and then in the second half, you're looking at teams that are going out of region. And so as we take a look here at the standings, Fairhope in action tonight against Daphne, out of region matchup, but Baker Foley 2 versus 3 going at it tonight, and that could be crucial as far as the seedings and solidifying a spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's going to be a really fantastic football game. And one of our teams tonight, Theodore, they stepped out of region play last week and they played Greene County, and they absolutely trounced them, okay? So now they're back in the region play, and one guy I'm sure in that lineup that's happy to be back in region play to try to redeem himself somewhat is going to be their running back, LaMichael P. Ryan. The last time you and I did a game, it was against Murphy. He had a couple of costly fumbles in that football game, and those fumbles actually ended coming back to haunt them. So it's great that he's going to get a chance to get back into region play as we switch now to the 6A Region 1 standings.
And taking a look right here, Spanish Fort without their starting quarterback, junior Tyler Johnston, going out with an ACL injury for the year. So the first time they're going to have a backup quarterback after the 29-game win streak. Johnston's been a staple in that offense for the longest time. In action tonight against Baldwin County, trying to figure out what they can do to continue that momentum as they have Daphne and Saraland hot on their tail. Daphne in action tonight against Fairhope, who is just running the table as far as the Mobile area.
Yeah, and those that they have to be happy about that as we watch now the Mike Dean-led Mary G. Montgomery Vikings take the field, and as they come over to the home side of the field, looking great. Love those uniforms. I really like them. Those look fantastic.
Well, hold up now. You said your favorites last week.
Of course. That's still my favorite.
And you're going now with the black and blue?
Well, I like it. I didn't say it was my favorite, but I like it. LaFleur by far has the best looking uniform in the whole city.
In the whole city?
In the whole city.
Really?
Absolutely.
Now, I know you're the uniform man and all that, but the uniform make the winners?
No, the man actually makes a uniform, Tim. It's not the other way around, as we now see the Theodore, the visiting team, make their way onto the field, onto the opposing sideline.
Well, it's going to be a classic battle tonight as the Theodore Bobcats take on the MGM Vikings. We're going to be getting ready for kickoff in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. gentlemen, in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain bringing you tonight's matchup in 7A Region 1 between the Theodore Bobcats and the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings. And here, we've already started with the game kicking off. Theodore looking to get the ball first on the opening drive. The Theodore Bobcat offense, last time we saw them in action, Howard, a lot of miscues. We talked about LaMichael Pirine, costly fumbles in their loss against Murphy, and that was really a momentum builder, as now they've kind of pinned themselves in a situation where they almost have to win out. But after tonight's game, it could be do or die for their season.
You know, which really, to be honest with you, it sounds bad, but it may not be a bad thing coming into tonight's ball game for Theodore, Tim. They know what they have to do in order to advance in their region.
Coburn hands off to Pirine to start the game. Going to bounce around back up the middle, bounce off his own teammate, gets a first down, but probably could have gotten more if he didn't run into his lineman.
Yeah, it was J.T. Moore who finally was able to slow him down, and finally coming in to finish off the tackle was Alex Hembry for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings. That was enough, Tim, for another first down for the Theodore Bobcats.
Coburn likes to use the hard count in order to draw the defense off sides. It works every now and then, but early on right here, the Vikings have it scouted out to where they're going to be looking for it. Coburn lined up in the pistol formation. Pirine in the backfield. A botch snap on the play, and he's going to be paying for it as it gets taken down into the backfield.
Yeah, nice job there of anticipating the snap count and actually getting into the backfield was Cedric Sewell from the linebacker position. He's 5'11", 195 pounds, and he was able to shoot the gap. Missed snap there. Good job by the quarterback to hold on to it. He was brought down for a sack. Loss of about 5 on first down, Tim. That's going to bring up 2nd and 15 now for the Theodore Bobcats.
Zyke Pruitt moving now to the bottom of the screen there. 2 receivers set out to the right side. It's going to be Pirine out of the Wildcat. Hands off on an end around. Is going to get met at the 30-yard line and ripped down out of bounds by 2 Viking defenders after about a 7-yard gain. Yeah, that was Brantley Cook and William Roberts combining on the stop over here on the near side, able to pick up about 7, close to 8 yards on second down as the quarterback comes back into the backfield. The offensive set now for Theodore. 3rd down and about 7. Pirine shifts out as a receiver to the right side. Coburn out in the backfield all alone, looking for Pirine on the outside. Single coverage, gets tripped up. The referee calls incompletion on the play. Looks like there was a tie-up by both players on the outside right there. Yeah, that was actually Keflin Montgomery, that was on coverage of LaMichael Pirine out in the flat one-on-one. Actually, Pirine was able to get behind the defensive back. Ball was thrown a little bit short. Falls incomplete. Mary G. Montgomery holds, and now it's a punting situation now for the Bobcats. The senior defense back Malik Brown back to receive this one. Dalton Lynch, the safety, now punter for the Bobcats, hits a skyrocketing punt. And it's going to take a Theodore bounce as it goes all the way down towards the 10-yard line. A little bit of a bump at the end of it, but the Bobcats pin the Vikings down inside their own 10 to start this first drive. Yeah, if you're Malik Brown and you're not able to field that football, Tim, look, don't joke around with the football. Get away from it. Not this early.
Yeah, because all you need is for you to lose your footing and you fall and hit the football, and then Theodore is set up with great field position. Just get the heck away from it if you have no plan of fielding it. But as it goes, the line of scrimmage now that for their opening drive for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings is their own 11-yard line.
And one of their key weapons is their sophomore quarterback, Cullen O'Shea, a dual threat, lining up in the backfield. It's going to start off quarterback keeper, going to get wrapped up in the backfield, and it's going to be a short loss on the play, bringing up 2nd down.
Yeah, Gurley Shannon was not fooled at all by that play-action fake. He's 6 foot, 210, a defensive lineman for Theodore. Looks like he the quarterback may have lost about a half of a yard, Tim, so that pushes the line of scrimmage all the way back to the 10-yard line. 10:09 remaining here in the first quarter.
The Vikings spread it out, shotgun formation, 5 receivers set. O'Shea drops back to pass, has 3 defenders in his face, and dumps it off to his running back on a screen play, gets the yards back, and quickly it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that was a middle screen set up by the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings, and once again, the defensive front was not fooled at all. Guys stayed at home. Nobody overcommitted on the play. The ball actually was advanced about 2 yards, so it's going to bring up about a 3rd and a long 7 here for the Vikings.
Talk about key substitution stepping up. We've got a young running back Joshua Williams. He's number 33, only about 5'5", but electrifying. Might be a little bit of a Darren Sproles for the Vikings tonight. O'Shea comes out, shotgun formation, fakes it, rolls out to his left side, has a defender in his face, evades one tackle, and just throws it out of bounds to get rid of it. Smart play, but a flag comes out. He had an intended target close to the 20-yard line, but let's see how the referees call this one.
Well, maybe they'll get together and discuss it, but it's going to be intentional grounding is going to be the penalty. Now, true enough, he was outside of the tackle box, Tim, and there was a receiver in the vicinity, but I don't think the ball made it back to the line of scrimmage. That's one of the things that has to happen. So what's going to happen is they're going to penalize the Vikings half the distance to the goal line. It's a loss of down, which is going to make it 4th down now for the Vikings, and they're going to be punting from very, very deep in their own territory. Jimbo Perez is our referee, by the way, tonight.
He's getting the situation down there, trying to figure out. And here comes the punt unit for the Vikings as they switch out right there. Talking about the players stepping up. Joshua Williams is a little guy, but he's got electric speed. 5'5". I mean, he's a hero for guys like me.
Oh, hey, for guys like me, too. And our officials tonight, Jimbo Perez, Gary Beasley, Jason Slade, Dick Clark, Mike Rembert, and Jason Clabo.
The Vikings come out and punt this one away. Going to take a roll, and it's a live ball as Lynch touched it. He's going to recover it in the backfield and evades one tackle from behind and is finally going to get met and brought down at the 42-yard line. That was a live and a dangerous play.
Yeah, and that was a fortuitous bounce that time for Theodore as we have a flag, I believe, on the punt return, Tim. I'm trying to see now where that might be.
Let's take a look right here.
I like the soccer style punt in that situation, just getting out into the left flat. But good job there of tracking the football down was Lynch after he touched it. And even better job by the coverage team for Mary G. Montgomery to get down and get him covered up right around about the 43-yard line of Theodore.
Coburn comes out, hands off to Pirine. Going to test the left side and finds a huge hole to the 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. No one's going to touch him. Touchdown. LaMichael Pirine explodes for a 55-yard touchdown. And the Bobcats are on the board first with 8 minutes and 46 seconds here in the first quarter.
And just like that, LaMichael Pirine gets back into region play and redeems himself. Went virtually untouched around the left side. Great job by the offensive line of sealing off the left edge, Tim, and allowing LaMichael Pirine to get down the field for a 53-yard touchdown, point after coming.
Lynch comes out for the kick after. And it's going to be a blocked kick on the play, and that's going to keep our score 6-0, 8:46 remaining here in our first quarter. You're watching the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
It's here, the MCPSS mobile app. It's a way for you to stay connected and informed with all of the happenings around the school district. Receive weather alerts. Check your child's grades and homework, plus more. Watch sports, original programming, find school locations, and read the latest news. Stay connected with all your favorite social networking sites. Download it today for free.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain bringing you tonight's matchup between the Theodore Bobcats and the MGM Vikings. The Bobcats first on the board after a 55-yard touchdown run from junior running back LaMichael Pirine, showing off some speed in their second series.
Yeah, that was impressive. And, this kid is actually getting a lot of attention now from some D1 programs. Most notably, a couple of D1 programs here in the state is LaMichael Pirine. He just showed right there why he is worthy of some looks.
Well, he's just shy of 1,000 all-purpose yards on the season, so 55 yards is going to help his cause on that one. He was getting close to about 70 yards away here and there, but I think by the end of the night, 1,000 yards is within the junior's vision.
Well, if he keeps on ripping off, big long runs like that, of course he's going to get there easily, Tim. And that kickoff from the Theodore Bobcats went out of bounds, so that's going to push the football all the way out to the 35-yard line. Great opening field position for the Vikings as they come out on their second possession here in the first quarter, where they currently trail the Theodore Bobcats by a score of 6-0. And remember, that point after was blocked by Brayston Simmons for Mary G. So let's see if that 1 point looms large later in the ball game.
Simmons has been stepping up in the secondary for the Vikings the last 2 weeks. Colin O'Shea's going to keep it himself. He's going to get brought down after a minimal gain on the play, second and about 8 from the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Justin Hosea Williams was first in on the stop, and great job of settling the play fake right there was O'Shea. Able to get upfield, Tim, but just the blocking just broke down, and Hosea was able to get in and get the stop.
O'Shea comes out, and it's a tip off the hands. 2 defenders broke that one up. An incompletion brings up a quick 3rd and 7 now for the Viking offense.
Yeah, his intended receiver over in the right flat was Seth Walsh, and actually Seth was open. Unfortunately, O'Shea threw it on the wrong shoulder. It was the shoulder that had the defenders on it, and the ball went incomplete. 2
receivers on each side. Williams lined up and running back in the backfield with O'Shea. 3rd and 7 for the Vikings. Drops back to pass, has pressure in his face, steps up out of the pocket, rolls out to the right side, looking for the sidelines, jump pass, and an incompletion brings up 4th down.
Yeah, he just isn't. His intended target that time was Gavin Temple out in the right flat, Tim. And as we watch here, look at all the pressure. Just no time for O'Shea to just sit, survey the field, look for his 1st, 2nd, and 3rd option. So he just has to get out and try to make something happen and save the yardage for his team. So on to punt now for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings is Riley Egan. And back to receive for the Theodore Bobcats, I believe that is Dalton Lynch, I'm sorry.
Egan just got that punt away as it's going to take a Viking roll down to the 20-yard line. The Bobcats scored on their last series with P. Ryan. A quick 1-play touchdown, but a failed point after leaves the score 6-0. Less than 8 minutes remaining here in our first quarter. Not a lot happening with Mary G. Montgomery's offense tonight.
Well, and then on top of that, as far as the defense goes, they were able to get Theodore to punt the football away on that first series, but what they have to do is they have to shore up their defense team on the edges. Doing a good job up the middle. It's just the edges that they're leaking on defense.
Theodore comes out, hands off to P. Ryan. He's going to drag defenders with him, and another huge gain, this time about 7 yards, bringing up a 2nd and 3 for the Bobcat offense.
Yeah, it took a couple of guys with him. That was J.T. Moore, and that was also Eugene Mosley that jumped on top of P. Ryan and went for a ride for about 7 yards.
Theodore quickly to the line, Coburn in the pistol formation. Hands off to P. Ryan, scabs around a couple of defenders and brought down right back at the same line of scrimmage. And the Viking defense says they have recovered a fumble.
We haven't gotten a call from the officials yet.
They will signal.
We did.
Bibba Perez signaling that the Vikings defense has recovered a fumble. We talked about P. Ryan having the fumbling issues.
Yeah.
For every good, there's that.
And, and when we take a look at the replay here, as P. Ryan is tackled, now watch, one of the defenders for the Vikings comes in, and he just starts stripping at the football. I believe that was Patrick Khalifa, and he finally got the ball out. Ball hits the turf. Mary G jumps on it, Tim, and now they have secured the football at the 31-yard line of the Bobcats. They're trailing 6-0 here in the first quarter.
Well, that's one way to get offense.
Exactly.
A great field position down to the 30-yard line. O'Shea out in the pistol formation. 1 receiver split out to each side. He's got an H-back, play action fake, looking over to his left, throws a high bomb out to the left side. It's tipped into the end zone and broken up on the play. Sean Schamberger matched up on the play on the outside. Brayston Simmons switching over from defensive back to receiver on that play, and he was matched up with Schamberger. Theodore won on that one.
Yeah, that was just, coverage was too good to get that football into Simmons. But that time, O'Shea had an opportunity to survey the field, step into the threw it up as a jump ball situation, and his receiver just couldn't come down with it.
O'Shea testing the left side again and throws an interception. Justin Hosea Williams comes up with a huge play and an interception for his defense. Right back at the 30-yard line is where he'll be taken down.
Yeah, looking for Brayston Simmons again on the play as we go to the replay here. O'Shea stares down his receiver. The linebacker just simply sits back in his zone and waits on the football. It comes right to him. Justin Hosea Williams, and how many times have we done Theodore broadcast and called call this young man's name on defense, shows up again, gets the ball right back on the turnover on the interception. Theodore starts the next drive, Tim, at their own 32-yard line, up 6-0. 7:13 remaining in the first quarter.
Back-to-back series of costly turnovers for both teams. Is Justin Hosea Williams to the point where we can start calling him JHW?
I'm not going to do it.
JHW.
I'm not going to do it.
Coburn comes out and is going to be sacked in the backfield. A huge defensive play by who else but Patrick Khalife. Another huge play for the Viking linebacker.
Yeah, we saw him in on that strip fumble of LaMichael Pirine, and here he is making yet another play, getting into the backfield, doesn't bite on the play action fake from the quarterback. He just actually was about to jump up into the passing lane and possibly knock the ball away for an incomplete pass, but the quarterback ate it. Lost about 10 on the play, Tim. It's going to bring up second at about 20.
Coburn comes out, hands off to Pirine, tests the left side, bounces off one of his own linemen, gets up the field, a minimal gain on the play. It's going to be third and long, upcoming just close to that 30-yard marker.
Mary G. Montgomery's playing inspired football on defense right now. Yeah, they gave up the huge touchdown run to LaMichael Pirine, but, you know, so far they've actually played pretty good defense here in this first quarter. They forced the Bobcats into a third and long now, Tim, maybe about third and about 14 now for the Bobcats.
Coburn comes out, third and about 15, drops back to pass, looks over to the left side, checks it down to Pirine on a screen, gets a couple of blockers, up the field, 40, 45, 50. Crosses midfield, 40, 35, getting back into the middle, up to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and touchdown, but was there a flag on the play? They were going to take it back. Pirine with his second touchdown of the night, 71 yards on the play on a screen pass. As we take a look right here, the junior cutting around, gets two great blocks right there. Evades another one, cuts back into the middle of the field, and he goes untouched once again.
Incredible. He came into the night needing 100 yards to get over 1,000 total yards of offense. Tim, he's eclipsed 1,000 yards easily in just 2 plays.
Lynch back on to kick this point after. And this one is good, as the Bobcats now take a 13-0 lead with 5 minutes, 49 seconds remaining in the first quarter. You're watching the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain bringing you tonight's broadcast between the Theodore Bobcats and the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings. Theodore out to a 13-0 lead off of LaMichael Pirine's second touchdown of the night. This one coming off of a bubble screen, Howard, 71 yards. For every bad, there is good. He fumbles, he comes back, and he has a huge play for his offense.
Well, it's a great play call because pretty much the defense had pinned their ears back, and they were really, really coming after Theodore.
Dalton Lynch kicks this one down to the 20-yard line. It's going to be brought up by Mary G. Montgomery. Evades a couple of defenders, 40, 45, 50, down to the 45, and brought down to the Theodore 40-yard line. A huge kickoff return.
Yeah, nice job there for responding to that long screenplay touchdown that was just given up by the defense. Special teams here trying to make something happen for Mary G. Montgomery. Just a tremendous job of just running the football. Jonathan Lambert for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings, able to get the ball across midfield, Tim, over into Theodore's territory. Ball rests on the 41-yard line of the Bobcats, 1st and 10, Mary G.
Last series, Cullen O'Shea threw an interception to Justin Hosea Williams, and now they're going to try to make up for it as they have great field position once again in Theodore territory. They come out, they're going to hand off to Josh Williams, explodes up the middle for an 8-yard gain on the play, 2nd and short upcoming.
Yeah, running back did not do anything fancy with the football, just a simple handoff from the quarterback O'Shea right up the gut of the defense. That time was Joshua Williams. Picked up about 8 on 1st down, Tim.
Only a sophomore, but showing off a lot of talent right there with some explosive speed. 5'5", 135 pounds soaking wet, but he's a lightning rod. And here comes with another carry. He explodes up the middle once again, and he's going to get a good enough carry for a first down as they get the Vikings to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, Justin Hosea Williams in just a little bit too late on the stop, Tim. Wasn't able to stop the running back from picking up the first down, so that's a first down. The sticks move for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings, not Montgomery's.
Man, you Brandon there over here?
I know, right?
O'Shea shifts a blocker over to the right side. Another handoff to Williams. Bounce it. It's out to the right side and going to be brought down by a clouder of Bobcat defenders on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 10 as he was unable to gain any yardage on the play.
Yeah, and one of the Bobcats came in late and was trying to strip the football away from the young man, and at the last minute he actually covered it up to him that time with both arms. But when he goes into that crowd of defenders, you want to practice ball security.
O'Shea comes out. Another handoff to Williams, testing the right side, has blockers, gets up the middle, takes a shot, the second level. And the coaches from the Theodore sidelines are just exploding over there.
Yeah, because they think he fumbled the football, and it looks like they actually came in to whistle him down. But, yeah, they were going off because they thought that the young man fumbled the football. Again, Joshua Williams, as he went up the right side on second down, picked up a few yards. Now it's about 3rd and about 5 now for the Vikings.
Comes out. This time they're going to hand off to Trevon Hicks, who's going to get dragged down short of the first down marker. It's going to be 4th and short upcoming for the Vikings, and it looks like it might be 4th down territory.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and looks like about 2 yards to go for Mary G. Montgomery. Decision time with 3:30 remaining in the first quarter. They're trailing at home by a score of 13-0, Tim, and obviously they're going to go for it.
O'Shea in the backfield. Two receivers split out to the right, one to the left. Going to take the snap. Hands off to Trevon Hicks. Gets her up the right side of the field. A flag comes out after he gets a first down and then some, but a flag in the trenches right around the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and in the vicinity of where that flag was thrown, a lot of times that's going to be holding against the offensive line. That time they ran a counter. They pulled a tackle and a guard from the left side of the formation to the right. Somebody must have grabbed someone, and a flag hit the ground as Jimbo Perez gives us the indication that it's going to be a hold against Mary G. That's going to nullify a first down run for the Vikings, Tim. It's a spot foul. They mark off 10 yards from where the flag went down. So this is going to make it now 4th down and long. Now, I'm sorry.
On the offense, remains 3rd down.
Okay, it's going to be 3rd down. I thought they went for it on 4th down.
That's what it says on the field.
Yeah.
But I'm sure the coaches for MGM will gladly accept the 3rd down.
I think they need to get that straightened out because, like you said, now the field marker says 4th down, but the referee said 3rd. So if they have to go back and look at it, Tim, they're going to go by what the yardsticks say and not what the referee said.
O'Shea drops back to pass, looking across the middle. He's going to get brought down in the backfield. A huge sack on the play. Coming up big for the defense on that one, Elijah Jordan, the senior, just comes in and levels O'Shea from behind. They thought they had a fumble, but nonetheless, it's a turnover on downs, and Theodore takes over.
Yeah, you're right. Whether he fumbled or not, it was going to be a failed 4th down attempt for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings, which nullifies a great kickoff return into Theodore territory for the Vikings, and they're going to come away with this with absolutely nothing.
Another huge defensive play for the Bobcat defense as Coburn comes out. He's going to hand off to Pirine, and a whole bunch of Viking defenders meet him in the backfield and take him down for a huge loss at the 30-yard line.
Tim, that horde of Vikings was led by Patrick Khalifa. First into the backfield to hit Pirine, stand him straight up, and then defensive help came and drove him back another 4 yards. Tim, is going to make it 2nd and 14 now for the Bobcats. And again, Mary G. Montgomery playing inspired defense.
Coburn comes out, tests the left side of the field. Chris Mosley and single coverage and broken up on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 15 for the Bobcats.
That was Malik Brown that was back in coverage, and he's actually back there in coverage, Tim, on a wide receiver that's much, much taller than he is, and he has an opportunity to go and catch that ball at his highest point. But nice job by Malik Brown to get his hands in between the hands of the wide receiver, poke the ball away. It's going to bring up 3rd and 14 now for the Theodore Bobcats.
2 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Coburn, play action fake, looks across the middle. It's going to be tipped and incomplete on the play. He was trying to look for his running back, Zach Douglas, on the play, but an incompletion, and that's going to bring up a quick 4th down.
I don't think either. I think now, I wonder if Zachariah Coleman was also trying to catch that football. Maybe it was intended for the running back, and Zachariah Coleman might have interfered with it. But as it goes, it's going to be a 4th down and long now for Theodore. And yet again, Mary G's defense holds. What can their offense give them, Tim, to get back into the ball game?
Malik Brown back to receive a skyrocketing punt. Backs up, calls for a fair catch, has some interference by Schamberger, and it's going to be tipped on the play. Theodore's going to jump on it, but he had called for the fair catch beforehand. Schamberger got there, might have interfered, but the referees are going to try to make a call on this one.
Yeah, you have to give the receiver, they say a 3-yard halo, to be able to properly field the football when he calls for a fair catch. He obviously called for a fair catch. Schamberger got into that halo, interfered with him. The ball hit. He touched it. And after that, Schamberger hit him as scores start to come in, Tim.
McGill with a 7-6 lead over Bryant in the first quarter. Davidson out to a 7-0 lead over Murphy in first quarter action from Ladd-Peebles Stadium. A huge rivalry matchup for 7A. Baker gets out first 7-0 over Foley. In first quarter action, a rematch from their playoff game 2 years ago, the last time the Baker Hornets made the playoffs.
Tim, we're going to have a timeout taken here as we take a look at the replay. Now back to cover that punt.
Malik Brown, but it looks like right here, as he calls the fair catch before, Schamberger gets there, might have made contact with the ball to make it live.
But if the referees did, and we have a timeout taken here by Mary G. Montgomery.
Because I think we know their decision.
Yeah, well, the ball is going to stay with Theodore, but Mike Dean wants to talk to the official and get an explanation on the call because right now they've already awarded the football to Theodore. Now, Malik Brown was interfered with, Tim, on that punt return, but after he was interfered with, my advice, don't touch the football. Let the officials make the call whether you were interfered with, but he again went and touched the football. It became live. It was fumbled. And Theodore was able to cover it up. Now Mike Dean is getting an opportunity to talk to Jimbo Perez, and I'm telling you, he's going to give him an earful over there on that Mary G. Montgomery sideline. But it's gonna take a miracle. It's going to take a minor miracle for Jimbo Perez to change this call.
We take a look right here. Brown clearly waves
right there, yeah,
for the fair catch.
Now right there, he's interfered with. Now he's in the halo.
The ball hasn't arrived yet.
That's right.
Right there it does.
So right there, a penalty flag should have been dropped, and the play should have been dead at that point. But he was obviously interfered with.
That's why we're up here, Howard.
Well, sure, but but we had a pretty good view of it, and Jimbo Perez is going to trot back on the field. Now, right now, Theodore has their offensive unit out there, so
and Mary G will bring out the defense.
Right, so
with Malik Brown out there at cornerback.
Yeah, this play is going to stand as called, and Theodore is set up nicely, Tim, at the 15-yard line of the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings. They currently lead in this ball game in the first quarter by a score of 13-0 over the home Vikings.
2 minutes remaining here in first quarter action. Has been a defensive showcase tonight. Patrick Khalifi, junior linebacker, and Justin Hosea Williams, another junior linebacker. Bright futures for both of these players, making a lot of plays for their teams tonight.
And after the officials huddle and talk about it once more, Tim, this ball is going to stay with the Bobcats. Very controversial, non-called there by the officials, but the ball game is going to play on.
Coburn comes out, pistol formation. One receiver on each side, and he has an extra blocker on the line as Piron's going to test the right side, finds a hole, runs through a defender, but brought down at the 10-yard line, a 5-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, tackled down by J.T. Moore, and you have an angry, upset Mary G. Montgomery football team out there on the field, Tim, as we take another look at as Piron was able to pick up about 6 yards on that play, Tim, and that's going to push the football down inside or right around the 10-yard line for the for the Vikings.
Douglas lines up as an extra blocker fullback on the play. Pirine gets the handoff, and they're going to blow the play dead.
As another flag came in late, Tim. I think that first flag is probably going to be a false start against the offense, but unless they're throwing a penalty on the same thing, there was another penalty after the whistle was blown.
We're going to get the indication.
False start on the offense, remains second down.
We're going to back them up about 5 yards. So 2nd and 10 now for the Bobcat offense as time continues to tick away. 1 minute, 28 seconds and counting here in first quarter action. The Bobcats trying to add to their 13-0 lead. Coburn comes out. A flag comes out. Single coverage overthrows his intended target. Another flag in the back of the end zone. 2 flags on the play. We'll have to see what happened here.
Now, I'm not sure what the flag was in the backfield. That may be a hold, but the one in the end zone is going to be pass interference on the defense because the defender was actually holding the wide receiver the entire time he ran his route into the end zone. So these are going to be offsetting penalties, I believe, but that's if the first flag is on Theodore. Here's the call.
Got a false start here. We got pass interference here. It's declined. Second down.
Here and here, it's bad.
Yeah, here and declined, okay? So that means that the penalty's offset, and they're going to simply replay second down. It's going to be 2nd and 9, ball on the 15-yard line of Mary G. Montgomery, and Theodore leads comfortably here at Mary G. Montgomery by a score of 13-0.
The clock is stopped temporarily at 1 minute, 16 seconds. Coburn comes out, drops back to pass. Pirine picks up a block. He's got defenders in his face. Throws across the middle and intercepted. Intercepted in the end zone. Braxton Simmons bringing it around the right side and brought down out to the 15-yard line. Braxton Simmons coming up with a huge play in the secondary for his defense, and the Vikings catch a break.
Yeah, Christopher Coburn here, Tim. At the very last minute, he's going to circle out to his left. Now, Carlos Nettles comes at him and puts pressure on the quarterback. He sort of loses sight of what's going on in the end zone, so he just tries to give his wide receiver an opportunity to catch it. But that time, great coverage and a great job of picking the football off. Like you said, Braxton Simmons gets the football back for Mary J. Montgomery right around the spot where all of the commotion originally happened during the turnover. So it's like they didn't lose anything but time off the clock.
Braxton Simmons has been a key part of the Vikings' 2-game win streak, as they're going to come out and hand off to Williams. Going to go nowhere on the play. 2nd and 10 upcoming. Simmons doing double duty tonight, playing receiver and safety. Last week in their victory against Baldwin County, he also had an interception in that game. So stepping up big time is the safety for the Vikings.
Kendrick Nettles in on that last stop.
O'Shea comes out and completes a pass on the play. Couple of yards short of the first down marker, but nonetheless a completion over to his intended target, Darius Clarkbanks, on the play.
Looks like Mary G's not going to call a timeout, Tim, as we're down about 22 seconds. Well, you know what? I'll take that back. We're only in the first quarter.
Calm down over there.
I know.
O'Shea comes out. A quick handoff to Williams. Dances around and going to get up the field. Runs over defender Trevon Hicks on the play. Gets a first down for the Vikings on 3rd and short out to the 35-yard line.
Lamarcus Hogan, I'm sorry, Tim. Lamarcus Hogan comes in late and lowers the boom, but a good job there of keeping his balance and getting upfield after contact to pick up an additional yardage. First down, Mary G.
Hicks is going to get another carry. Going to test the left side. Has blockers. A flag comes out in the backfield on the play as the clock ticks away here in first quarter action. They're going to see what the call is right here.
Now, it could either be holding or unnecessary roughness on the quarterback or something like that. I was too busy watching the play develop to see exactly what the flag is. Here's the call.
And we will get a holding call against the Vikings.
Yeah, that's going to be a spot foul, Tim. So the flag comes down at about the 33-yard line of Mary G. Montgomery.
They're going to mark it off for second quarter action. Heading your way. You're watching the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. The Theodore Bobcats leading the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings 13-0 in second quarter action. And Jimbo Perez indicating for the hold against the Vikings. It looks like they're going to march this one off. back them up to the 20-yard line.
Well, the reason why we're still with you folks is because the quarter can't end on a penalty.
Oh, good
okay?
call.
So they have to play one more untimed down before they can go into the second quarter. So we'll stay right here.
O'Shea comes out. It's going to be a simple handoff. This time to Josh Williams. He's going to break a couple of tackles and brought down a minimal gain on the play. 4 yards of anything.
At the end of one, Theodore 13.
You're watching the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Keep it right here on Seymour TV. Second quarter action coming your way. Bobcats, Vikings, up next.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in a 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Tillman.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain bringing you tonight's matchup between Theodore and MGM. Colin O'Shea coming out on a 2nd and long. He's going to keep it himself, but gets swallowed up by a group of Theodore defenders on the play down to the 30-yard line. 3rd and long upcoming for the Viking offense.
That last play for Mary G. Montgomery was a rollout, a design rollout for Colin O'Shea out into the right flat. He looked downfield, there was nothing there, so he decided to tuck it and run it. And Timmy took a lot of punishment. He was tackled hard by about 4 Theodore defenders. The ball came out, but thankfully he had already been signaled down, and the play was dead. So Mary G. keeps the football, but man, you just don't want to see your quarterback take shots like that.
3rd and long now for the Vikings. O'Shea drops back to pass, looks left, has pressure from behind, gets up the middle of the field. Justin Hosea Williams dragging him and finally brings him down at the 35-yard line. 4th and 10 upcoming for the Vikings.
And right now, Colin O'Shea is going to need some help. We take a look at it here on the replay. Steps back, looks for his primary target, is not there. Pocket breaks down, so he just took the football and gets upfield. Justin Hosea Williams was the first in on the stop. Now it's going to bring up 4th down, Tim, and it's going to be 4th down and long for Mary G. Montgomery, and they're not going to chance it here in their own territory. So the special teams unit is going to come on and punt this football away as Dalton Lynch goes back for Theodore to receive this punt here early in the second quarter.
Riley Egan back to punt this one. Had defenders in his face, but gets it away to Lynch at the 24-yard line. He's going to be facing a bunch of defenders and finally brought down at the 25. 10 minutes, 18 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Theodore with a 13-0 lead in our first half as they've capitalized off of 2 LaMichael Pirine touchdowns, a 55-yard touchdown run, followed up by a 71-yard bubble screen touchdown that went the distance, and Pirine's showing off as we have more scores coming in. Viger out early over Jackson, 7-0 in the second quarter. McGill and Bryant, the Yellow Jackets, out to a 14-12 lead. Murphy and Davidson tied at 7 apiece in second quarter action. Baker are still over Foley 7-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, LaMichael Pirine gets the first down carry for the Theodore Bobcats, Tim. He tries to see if he can find something on the right side. Great defensive pursuit that time by the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings on the right side. Only able to pick up maybe 2 yards on the play. Is going to bring up 2nd down and about 8 now for Theodore.
2 running backs in the backfield for the Bobcats, Douglas and Pirine. 2 receivers split out to the left. There's going to be a toss play to Pirine. Evades a couple of defenders, but brought down low on the play. 3rd and 8 now after no gain on the play. A huge play coming up from the senior linebacker, Isaiah Johnson, going low on Pirine. He might have even lost a yard on the play. 3rd and 9 now for the Theodore offense.
Yeah, you know, big play there. You force a 3rd down and long now, and we've seen so far that 3rd down and long situations do not scare Theodore, okay? A couple of times they've just given it to P-Ron, and he's taking it to the house. So look out for a screen play, a middle screen or something like that from Theodore if you're Mary G. Montgomery.
Viking defense has been coming up huge tonight as there's another screenplay to P. Ryan, gets the first down and then some up the right side of the field and steps out of bounds towards the 50-yard line. A huge first down conversion for the Bobcat offense.
Tim, it's a perfect play call for defense when they pin their ears back and they really come after you. And what you do, and as we look here, and we just predicted it, as you saw Michael P. Ryan slowly leak out of the backfield and get into the open field, and he was able to pick up a first down. But when a defense is that aggressive, you have to use that aggression against them. Screen plays are perfect for that. It was perfect on 3rd down.
Theodore aggressively to the line. Coburn uses the hard count and draws off a defender. That's going to be encroachment on the play, and a 5-yard mark-off will happen as the Bobcats are going to cross over into Viking territory.
That encroachment on the defense remains first down.
A little bit of undisciplined play right now by the Mary G. Montgomery defense. We saw them not stay at home on that screen play on 3rd and long, and they were able to pick up the first down. Theodore, that time someone jumped into the neutral zone.
1st and 5, they're going to hand off to Justin Hosea Williams at running back, and he's going to go nowhere. Brought down in the backfield by Khalife, coming up with another big play. We've seen Hosea Williams out running back in a couple of games that we've done this year. He can be electrifying himself.
Effective, yeah.
And he got meet by pretty much his twin on the opposite side in Khalife. The two of them have been ecstatic tonight, junior linebackers.
There was a problem on the handoff, and Justin Hosea Williams just could not build up a head of steam headed into the line of scrimmage.
Coburn comes out, toss play to Hosea Williams, gets out to the right side, beats the defender, and brought out of bounds, but not until he picks up 4 yards on the play, and that's going to take him to the 45-yard line. 3rd and about 5 upcoming for the Bobcat offense, building a lot of momentum here in the first half.
Now, can Mary G. Montgomery's defense step up and get Theodore off the field on 3rd down and get the ball back into the hands of your offense? This is a big play here because right now Theodore's moving the football pretty effectively.
8 minutes, 22 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Coburn drops back to pass. Another high bubble screen. P. Ryan controls it, gets up the field through a wall of defenders, and he gets a huge gain of about 15 yards, getting him up to the 30-yard line. The bubble screen has been the favorite play tonight. But this one right here, P. Ryan, we see he makes the adjustment. It's a high toss on the play, able to bring it in and gets up the field. He's been electric as a dual threat tonight.
Yeah, Braston Simmons was in the secondary and able to make the stop finally on LaMichael P. Ryan. But so far, 3 middle screens by Theodore, picking up big yardage.
Coburn comes out, hands off to P. Ryan. He's going to try the middle of the field, gets out to the left side, runs up the field and close to that first down marker. He might be just shy. 2nd and inches upcoming for Theodore. No, they're going to award him a first down. And that's a 10-yard run credited to P. Ryan.
Tim, I want you to take a look at the body language of the defenders for Mary G. Montgomery. A lot of guys with hands on hips, and you know what that means. That's fatigue. These guys are getting tired. They're playing a lot of snaps trying to stop this Theodore offense, and that time, again, undisciplined play. Someone jumped into the neutral zone, and there's going to be a 5-yard penalty assessed against the defense, Tim. But right now, that defense is gassed, and Coach Dean is going to take a timeout.
Encroachment on Black.
Coach Dean is going to take a timeout here, Tim, and try to give his guys an opportunity to catch, get some wind.
How would you like to keep up with social media?
Of course.
Yeah, well, if you want to know what's happening in the Mobile County Public School System, if you're on Facebook or Twitter, you can follow the Mobile County Public School System and keep up with all of the developing programs that they have to offer.
I want to keep up with Martha Peak. Okay, how do I do that?
Well, all you have to do is just go to Twitter, and she is at Super Peak.
Super Peak.
She's everywhere, so she has to be Super Peak.
Well, I heard she's here.
Really?
I heard she's here.
Are you saying that there's a chance that we might get to talk to her at halftime?
Probably about as much of it as a chance of rain tonight. So we'll see. I don't know.
Well, I would hope it wouldn't rain.
We tell you what, I'll use my executive pool.
Okay.
Okay, because I got it like that.
Okay.
All right, and I'll see can I get her up here.
Can you tweeting the rain updates?
I need to tweet Martha and ask her to come up here and talk to us at halftime.
We've got some scores coming in as Jackson and Viger are tied at 7 apiece in second quarter action. McGill with a 2-point lead over Bryant, 14-12 in the second quarter. Davidson and Murphy tied at 7 apiece in the second quarter. Huge rivalry matchup tonight. And Baker still with a 7-0 lead over Foley.
Tim, single coverage on the wide receivers on the outside in this offensive set for the Bobcats.
Coburn comes out, I formation. Douglas and Piron in the backfield. Hosea Williams gets the carry on the play. Minimal gain on the play is going to bring up 2nd and 3. But starting off at 1st and 5, Howard, they got great field position.
Yeah, they got great field position, and that would have been a perfect opportunity to waste a football into the end zone through the air. You've got a big wide receiver, Christopher Mosley, who's absolutely begging for the football out in the left flat. He's in single coverage. Man, it just invites you to throw the football up there and let him go get it.
The Bobcats have been operating with an extra blocker tonight, and it's been paying off as they give it to Piron. He's going to break through 3 tackles. They thought the ball came loose. His shoe came off at the 5-yard line on the play as he just aggressively ran right through everybody.
Yeah, and that's going to be another first down for LaMichael Piron as we take a look here. Just a toss sweep to the left, lead block out front. There's 1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, and here's a guy that literally gets kind of ran over there at the end of the play. But again, Tim, a very, very tired Mary G. Montgomery defense on the field.
Piron almost lost the ball on that one, but he had the presence of mind to roll over and get it on the play. Could have been costly.
This has been, I apologize that I haven't tracked how many plays there have been in this drive, but this defense has been on the field a long time.
Back out in the I formation. 1st and goal on the play. Hosea Williams gets the shovel pass and gets into the end zone. A short touchdown run. Justin Hosea Williams gets into the end zone. A 3-yard gain on the play, and the Bobcats take their lead to 20-0 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds here in second quarter action.
Tim, you can see that coming because once they got around about the 20-25-yard line, you could see these guys for the defense with their hands on their hips, Tim. They were tired, and Theodore Bobcats that was a methodical drive there, touchdown drive for the Bobcats as they go up now by a score of they haven't put the 6 on the board yet, so it's 19-0, and we get a stoppage in play.
We're going to have to see what the call is on this one. They were
A false start on the offense.
They were shifting around the personnel on the play. Interesting formation. They bring out a new kicker for the Bobcats. Looks like it's going to be Dylan McClester. Is going to boot it through the uprights. Nice debut.
I know, right?
Taking the Bobcat lead now 20-0. 6 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in second quarter action. You're watching the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. The Theodore Bobcats with a 20-0 lead over the MGM Vikings here in second quarter action. 6 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in our first half, and it's been a lot of the running game for the Theodore Bobcats. 2 touchdowns tonight already for LaMichael Piron. Justin Hosea Williams getting the last touchdown on a 3-yard toss play. The Bobcats have been having their way on offense. You know, it's just been incredible. It's been a clinic that's been put on so far by the offense for Theodore, and they've done it primarily on the ground. Just they really haven't had to go to the pass much at all tonight as they've dominated the field, the time of possession, Tim, and yards gained on offense. They're going to boot this one away as it's a live ball back at the 10-yard line, but Mary G. Montgomery's going to pick it up and get out of bounds close to the 20-yard line. A lot of scares tonight. A lot of live balls. Yeah. On special teams, a couple of fumbles here and there. Both teams trying to capitalize. Yeah, and you don't want your football team to get frustrated, as Malik Brown actually ended up going back and picking up this football and just trying to pick up what he could
after it was pretty much muffed by the return team. And if you're Mary G. Montgomery and his coaching staff, you want to try to make sure that your team does not get down and get frustrated with themselves. Some things quite haven't gone Mary G. Montgomery's way on offense in this football game, so they have to just keep getting out there and keep fighting and try to get back into this game one score at a time.
Colin O'Shea in the backfield, hands off to Williams, who's going to be met after a minimal gain and stopped on the play. A flag comes out.
Now this may be a personal foul penalty on the field. We're going to get the call from our referee Jimbo Perez, but came in late. It came in late, too late to be holding. So when guys are engaged like that, someone had to have done something that just wasn't acceptable. As the officials huddle up right now to talk about it, it may be offsetting fouls. Maybe it's against both guys. It could be a personal foul penalty, but we're going to get the call now from Jimbo Perez. But I believe there's going to be a personal foul penalty, but on who?
On Theodore. We talked about how it came in late on the play.
Yeah. Like I said, guys were already engaged. The play was pretty much over, and you knew it couldn't have been holding.
Personal foul against the defense. First down.
Well, the Vikings getting a first down out of it.
Yeah, that 15-yard penalty now, Tim, pushes the line of scrimmage for Mary G. Montgomery out to their own 36-yard line here in the second quarter. 6:09 remaining, clock ticking.
Two receivers to the right, one to the left. Javon Hicks, the running back in the backfield for Mary G. Montgomery. They shift over the H-back. A little bit of a miscue, a delayed handoff in the backfield, but Hicks is going to get up the field. A 4-yard gain taking him to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 6 coming up for the Vikings.
Garrett Ackridge finally made the stop on the running back, and I think that miscue in the backfield may have been just enough of a delay for the counter to work. They pulled two linemen from the left side to the right side of the formation. It gave actually the offensive lineman enough time to get over, engage the defender, and create a rushing lane for the for the running back.
O'Shea on a quarterback keeper, goes up the middle of the field, a huge gain of about 15 yards, crossing over into Theodore territory, and a fresh set of downs for Mary G. Montgomery.
And I like what they're doing on offense, Tim. They're just being patient with the football as O'Shea is able to find a rushing lane and get the ball over into plus territory as we get a timeout now taken, I believe, by Mary G. Montgomery.
And it looks like they're just going to have one more left. 5 minutes, 24 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Vikings are moving, but Theodore has a 20-0 lead. Keep it right here for the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
It started for me when I went into the first grade, and then I went on to George Hall Elementary School, and from there to Williamson, where I graduated. The public school system, it had a great impact on me because not only did it prepare me academically for my future career, but it also prepared me for life. Because of its diversity of students and teachers, it really gave me a well-rounded education.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain bringing you tonight's matchup in 7A Region 1 between the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings and the Theodore Bobcats. Colin O'Shea comes out on a fresh set of downs after a 15-yard quarterback keeper got him into Bobcat territory at the 45-yard line. Javon Hicks shifts over as the running back in the backfield. A bubble screen on the play. O'Shea out to the slot receiver, gets up the middle of the field and takes a shot by a set of Bobcat defenders.
Wow, that was Garrett Ackridge, the 5'11", 150-pound linebacker, just comes in and just puts a shot right here, coming off the screen there. Wow. Boy, he puts a shot on the wide receiver out in the flat. Man, he's going to feel that one tomorrow.
O'Shea rolls out to his right side, looking downfield, and tries to connect with his receiver. Incomplete on the play, and it's quickly 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I believe his intended receiver was Gavin Temple, but Devin Poole thought it was for him, Tim. He reached up, tipped the football just enough to change his trajectory, so by the time it got back to Gavin Temple, it went into the turf. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and long now for Mary G. Montgomery in the second quarter, 4:55 remaining.
Two receivers split out on each side for O'Shea. He has Hicks in the backfield with him out of the pistol formation. Theodore using the 3-4 defense as Hicks is going to get a delayed handoff, tries to fight his way towards that first down yard marker, and is going to come up short. 4th and short upcoming for the Vikings.
Yeah, Hicks actually put his head down, and he ran into the back of his own blocker that was out in front. That held him up long enough for Tremaine Kyles, the big defensive lineman, to come in and make the stop short of a first down, Tim. 4th and about 3 here for the Vikings.
The offense stays on the field, looking over to the sidelines to get the adjustments as the aggressive defense of the Bobcats were luring in. They shift Hicks over to the left side. O'Shea comes out, pitches it to Hicks. He's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. A huge stop for the Bobcat defense.
Tim, I'm sorry, I don't have his I don't have that player's number on our roster. He's number 16 on our roster, but it jumps from 15 to 17, so I don't know who that young man is for Theodore that came out of the secondary and made that stop for the Bobcats. But as it goes, it was a very, very nice play from the defender to get in underneath the wide receiver, drop him on the play, Tim, and that's going to give the ball right back to Theodore, 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Douglas gets the carry on the play, is going to fight his way up the middle of the field, get about a 9-yard gain on the play as the Bobcat rushing attack continues here in the first half. 4 minutes, 7 seconds, and counting here as they're trying to add to their 20-0 lead early on.
This offense has just been tough to stop for Mary G. Montgomery all night on defense. It's just been amazing what they've been able to do in the run game.
Coburn comes out as 2 receiving targets to his left side. The extra blocker has really helped the offense tonight as Coburn fires one, a completion for a first down out to the 45-yard line on the play for Theodore.
Yeah, the receiver just found a soft spot in the zone, Tim, and just sat down and was able to pick up enough for yet another first down. Ball goes over into plus territory now for Theodore as they continue to move this football slowly down the field. 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. 20-0, Theodore leads.
Back out in the I formation, a fresh set of downs. Coburn comes out, play action fake, rolls out to his left side, checks it down to his target, evades the defender, gets up the middle of the field, and gets a fresh set of downs for the Bobcats once again, and Mike Dean explodes on the sideline trying to get this defense focused.
Well, once again, Tim, it's a screen play. This time the quarterback rolls out, finds the running back downfield. He's able to shed a couple of tackles and get all the way down to the 32-yard line. First down, Bobcats.
Coburn with a hard count, tosses it out to Piron, testing the right side, back into the middle of the field, and is going to get met by a wall of defenders, continues to push his way, and finally brought down. It looks like the ball was stripped out, and MGM says that they have recovered it.
Tim, it was, and we're going to go back and look at this on the replay, and you're going to see that LaMichael Piron was not down when that football got stripped out. And, you know, Mary G. Montgomery has found a weakness in LaMichael Piron's game. Now here, when he gets tackled, he should just wrap up. But again, you see guys start to strip at the football, and the ball comes out and hits the turf there.
Well, the defense of the Bobcats has already come out, so it will be the second recovery for the Vikings defense tonight. The second fumble by LaMichael Piron.
It's gonna be interesting to see what ball security drills the coaching staff puts LaMichael Piron through in practice this upcoming week.
Going on, O'Shea comes out, play action fake, looks down the right side of the field, single coverage. Braston Simmons tips and incomplete. He was tied up with Sean Schamberger on the outside down to the 40-yard line. Incompletion as the clock stops at 2 minutes and 45 seconds. MGM, I believe, has one timeout remaining, and they're facing a 20-0 deficit.
And Simmons wanted a pass interference, but if you look, Schamberger does get around. He plays the football, not the offensive player. He has just as much right to that football when it's in the air as the offensive player does. Ball falls incomplete.
O'Shea in the backfield with 2 running back options, 2 receivers out to his left side. He's looking back to the right side. A high pass on the play, an incompletion, and quickly it's 3rd down.
Yeah, he was trying to hit Trent Laguerre over here on the near side. He actually had him open, again, threw to the wrong shoulder, and the ball sailed high. When the ball sails high on a quarterback, Tim, a lot of times it has to do with footwork. So O'Shea is not setting his feet and driving into his target as he throws the football.
3rd and 10 now from the 30-yard line. O'Shea looking downfield once again, an incompletion and almost intercepted by Dalton Lynch on the play. Almost intercepted. That's going to bring up a 4th down The clock stops at 2 minutes, 34 seconds.
Seth Walsh was the intended receiver, the tight end. And, Tim, that was a very, very catchable football. Nice mechanics shown there by O'Shea. But I believe the receiver was probably afraid of the hit that he was going to potentially.
Footsteps?
Yeah, of course. He heard him. And he had a, alligator arm situation there where he didn't quite stretch out for the football, and it fell incomplete. So it's going to be a punt situation coming up for the Vikings.
Lynch back towards the 30-yard line. A sideways punt is going to roll back to Lynch. He's going to take it out of bounds on the play. Theodore has just been a hungry team tonight as they have a 20-0 lead. 2 minutes, 26 seconds remaining here in second quarter action. As we take a look at the punt right here, just gets it away aside. Lynch is able to get complete control this time, and smartly gets out of bounds of the play. Theodore Bobcats, Howard, they're just playing hungry tonight. They know that their season's on the line, and right now in the first half, they have come out and just been explosive on both sides of the ball.
Well, see, I have to turn around and I have to actually tip my cap to the Mary G. Montgomery defense, because they have done a great job of, first of all, creating turnovers. Okay, they've been able to get the football away from LaMichael Pirine a couple of times tonight, and that's exactly what you want from your defense. You need them to go out there, first of all, make stops, and second of all, create turnovers. And I think that the defense.
Run back, we had a hold on the receiving team. First down.
I think the defense has done exactly what Coach Dean wants them to do. They've defended well. True, they've given up a couple of big, long runs to Theodore. You take those away, it's a totally different ball game. But I think defensively, they've done a great job. Offensively, they just haven't been able to get in any type of rhythm.
Howard, if you want to watch shows about the Mobile County Public School System 24/7, you can do it on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T UVerse on Demand Channel 99 to keep up with all the developments and action happening in the Mobile County Public School System.
LaMichael Pirine, once again, Tim, on our first down carry, able to pick up, looks like about, maybe 4 yards on first down? And clock
close
continues,
to 5 almost.
Yes, clock continues to tick. And again, the offense isn't able to string together enough plays to keep the defense on the sideline to give them enough time to get some rest. This defense has really been on the field a lot tonight, and to only have given up 20 points is a miracle.
Coburn comes out. He's going to hand off to Pirine once again. Stopped as he tried to go straight up the middle. No gain on the play. 3rd and 5, but yet the clock continues to run. 1 minute, 45 seconds and counting left in our first half action. It's been a quick first half.
Yeah.
The Bobcats quickly, though, to a 20-0 lead. 2 touchdowns behind LaMichael Pirine and 1 by Justin Hosea Williams, lining up at running back on that last one. And right there, Eric Hollier's just got to be thinking, let's just run out the clock and carry the momentum into halftime. Coburn comes out. He has 2 receivers, 1 on each side. Pirine in the backfield, and they're going with an extra blocker, 2 extra blockers on the offensive line. Pistol formation. They're going to hand off to Pirine. A little evasive action in the backfield, and met and brought down right around that first down marker.
You can start to see what those 2 fumbles have done to LaMichael Pirine tonight. He's not being as aggressive when he attacks the line of scrimmage, Tim, when he gets the handoff in the backfield, because he is afraid he's going to get the ball stripped. Once he approaches the line of scrimmage at the handoff, he's keeping a second hand really, really close to that football, which is going to change his running style and keep him from being as aggressive as he wants to be when he runs the football.
Coburn comes out, I formation, 2 running backs in the backfield. It's going to be a play action fake, looks over to the left side, a completion on the play, and brought down right at that first down marker, and that might be back-to-back first downs for the Theodore offense.
Yeah, the stop was made on the near side by Keflin Montgomery, and yeah, as we take a look at the replay, not really sure if that was supposed to be a play action fake, but as it was, it does allow the quarterback, Cullen, to get the ball out into the flat and pick up a first down, as I believe we're going to get a timeout taken here now by Theodore.
33 seconds remaining here in second quarter action. The Bobcats trying to add to their 20-0 lead before halftime coverage. A lot of explosive plays coming on the ground, but right now it might be time for passing.
Well, you know what? I don't know. You have a very, very comfortable lead going into halftime, 20-0. Mary G. Montgomery has barely even threatened tonight with the football offensively. So if you're Theodore, what has gotten you this lead running the football?
And bubble screens.
Well, and bubble screens, that is true. So I say just keep the football on the ground, Tim. You know, avoid getting a turnover, and just go into the locker room with a nice, comfortable lead, and come out here in the second half and pick up where you left off.
Got a superhero theme going on
I
with
know,
MGM
right?
tonight. They seem to have a new theme every single week. I find that interesting. Superhero theme. So we're going to need their team to be a superhero, as Robertsdale is leading Blunt 12-7 in second quarter action. Jackson and Viger tied at 7 apiece going into the third quarter. McGill with a 21-12 lead over Bryant in second quarter action. Davidson on top of Murphy 14-7 at halftime. Baker up 14-0 at halftime over Foley. Coburn comes out, fires across the middle, deflected away on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
Well, Tim, you called it. You said, you know, with the amount of time remaining in this second quarter, maybe time to start throwing the football. I thought they would just play it safe and keep it on the ground, but just out of the timeout, they come out throwing the football. Ball goes incomplete across the middle, Tim. That's going to make it 2nd and 10 now for the Theodore Bobcats.
Howard, when you've been around as long as I have.
Nah, don't start that. Don't start.
Coburn comes out, bubble screen. Pirine gets it up the field, a first down. As the clock continues to tick away, 20 seconds. It looks like they're going to stop it, move the chains. Stops at 21.
Now, the scoreboard is showing that both teams have 3 timeouts, and we know that's not true as we look at here at yet another bubble screen over the middle.
The clock now runs as they set. Coburn looking over to his right side, lobs one up there, a completion, inbounds on the play. The clock continues to tick away. Are they going to call for a measurement because it looks short of that first down marker?
Well, I think Theodore called a timeout because Christopher Mosley did come up short of the first down by 1 yard. He was inbounds and fell inbounds, so they want to stop the clock and try their best to get this ball. 9.6 seconds remaining. You're getting to the point now where you have to start taking a couple of shots with a deep ball into the end zone because
really?
Where they are, unless they pick up about 25 yards, Tim, they're not going to be able to get a reasonable distance as far as a field goal is concerned. So 9.6 seconds remaining. You can try to get something quick on the sidelines, cut the yards to the end zone in half, and then with that final play, you can try to throw something to the end zone and maybe you can come up lucky.
If you're Michael Pirine, are you starting to question yourself after 2 fumbles here in the first half?
Actually, you do not. But if your coaching staff does and they pull you and they put you on the bench, then that's, as a player, I think that's when you start to question yourself. But they put him right back out there, Tim, you know, right after the fumble to show him, look, we believe in you. We know that, you know, tonight has been tough as far as holding on to the football, so get back out there and give it another shot. So his coaching staff hasn't showed him anything different. So, no, his mindset hasn't changed. He's still going to be aggressive.
Both of these teams in survival mode, a sense of urgency as the Theodore Bobcats have dominated the first half tonight. 9 seconds remaining on the clock coming out of the timeout. 3 receivers spread out to the right side. Coburn looking that way as he fires one. Mosley stiff arms the defender, stays in bounds, and going to be brought down out of bounds on the play. And the clock stops with 1 second.
I'm really surprised Christopher Mosley just didn't take that pass and just immediately go out of bounds.
Oh, believe me, he's going to get coached up about it.
Yeah, he is. he actually lost about maybe 2, close to 3 seconds for his offense by not stepping out of bounds and trying to pick up, maybe another half yard before he finally went out of bounds. So now the only play that Theodore has, well, you know what? I take that back. We've seen how well the screen has worked.
Just 70 yards.
That's all. That's all we've seen.
Nothing
So
big.
that's it.
Just 70 yards.
So it's a possibility they may set up another screen to Pirine out in the flat, get a convoy of blockers in front of him, and just maybe he can get into the end zone again.
Well, if you notice tonight, Theodore has been operating with 1 to 2 extra blockers on
Right.
the line. Only 2 receivers. They
Jumbo
haven't been thrown
package.
it a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been working out great because the rushing attack has been pretty much their primary weapon.
Well, Tim, I'm wrong because the special teams unit has just come onto the field, and they're going to try a field goal.
Dylan McCluster.
Okay,
He had the big leg. He had the last point after.
So this is going to be about a 35-yard attempt here by Theodore. 1 second remaining in the second quarter.
McCluster lines up back at the 25-yard line. Boots one.
And it's
Through
good.
the uprights.
Wow. That's a 35-yard field goal attempt.
Kickers are people too.
Yeah, made by
Dylan
Theodore.
McCluster
Wow.
with a huge field goal kick on the play.
I didn't see that
Taking the lead 23-0 into halftime as the Theodore Bobcats come up big. It's going to have to be a lot of adjustments made, but we'll be right back. with halftime coverage and first half recap here in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
So, Nicholas, how was your day at school today?
It was great. We had fun in class today.
So, what did you do differently today at school? I mean, any new projects?
We got a progress report today.
You got your progress reports today? So, how did you do?
Don't know.
You don't know. That's okay. We can check that right here. Wow. Nicholas.
The quality of education that I received from the Mobile County Public School System really prepared me for global success. Being an international opera singer, I get to travel all across the world. And one of the most important aspects about that is being able to communicate and work with people. And the Mobile County Public School System really equipped me to be greatly successful worldwide.
Welcome back to halftime coverage of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights live here on Seymour TV. The Theodore Bobcats with a 23-0 lead over the MGM Vikings here at halftime, and it's been primarily due to the junior running back, LaMichael P. Ryan Howard, comes out with a huge 55-yard touchdown run, then follows up with a bubble screen. Justin Hosea Williams, the junior linebacker, comes into play, some running back, and then he has a touchdown right there. Then comes in, and Dylan McClester with a huge field goal on the play, and now that takes their lead 23-0 in Viking territory.
I didn't see that one coming.
Did you like the stiff arm right there?
Oh,
I had to save it.
That was pretty cool.
LaMichael P. Ryan can do it, so can I. Get the little stiff arm.
Just don't fumble your paper.
I haven't done that yet.
Then you'd be like LaMichael P. Ryan.
Well, hold up now. What do we say? What do we say at the beginning of the game?
I know.
Ball security is definitely going to be a speech that he's going to receive at halftime, but nonetheless, an explosive talent. He's been proven in every aspect in the pass game and the run game tonight, but they have to ball security has to be breached at halftime if Theodore Bobcats. If you're the MGM Vikings, you got to get mentally right. Right now, it's a very feasible deficit at 23-0 at halftime. A lot can happen in 2 quarters of play. What was interesting about it, Mike Dean was saving a lot of the timeouts. He didn't take them early. He knew that he was going to need them into the second quarter. Right. But just a couple of things. Offensively, they're trying to get something going with the run game, but the passing attack has been the primary weapon here in the second quarter.
Yeah, it's been tough for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings to get much of anything going on offense and get into any type of rhythm. And that comes from offensive line play. They've been getting whooped up front by the defensive line, and they just haven't been able to get much going, either running or passing the ball. Now, O'Shea has been able to find a couple of running lanes here and there, Tim, and pick up enough to pick up a first down for his team and keep the sticks moving. But after so many plays, it's like the offense kind of stalls out, and they end up either turning the football over or giving it back to the other team on the punt. So it's up to the offense to get some continuity going. Now, on the defensive side for Mary G. Montgomery, I've been impressed. I thought they've done everything that Coach Mike Dean could have asked his defense to do coming into this football game: defend and create turnovers. And I thought that they've done that. They've forced LaMichael P. Ryan to fumble the football 2 times. And as far as defending, if you take away a couple of one long run and a screen pass for a touchdown, really Mary G. Montgomery will still be in this football game. But right now they're down 20-0, so they've got to make some offensive adjustments.
Well, yeah, this has been coming up huge for the Vikings defense. Junior linebacker Patrick Khalifa, and every time we've seen him in action, he's been coming up big. A couple of fumble recoveries tonight. Key tackles. He's continuing to be a leader for this defense. On the opposite side of the field, Justin Hosea Williams, you can't say enough about him. He's used on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, running back, linebacker. He had an interception early on in the game. 2 key playmakers to keep an eye on in the second half.
Justin Hosea Williams is playing himself into being a big-time prospect.
6'1", 210.
Yeah,
I think he's got Division I ability.
And that frame actually has the frame is there for him to put on more weight and actually be someone that a lot of Division I schools can actually look at, because he's extremely athletic and fast from that linebacker position for Theodore, and he's been impressive tonight. Theodore's defense has pitched a shutout, so you can't take anything away from them.
More second half coverage coming your way. You're watching the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
and said with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Living seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall, and make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book redefines something, helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back to halftime coverage of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain, a 23-0 lead for the Bobcats at halftime over the MGM Vikings here in Sims, Alabama from Mary G. Montgomery High School. A 7A Region 1 matchup, a battle for survival, Howard. The winner of tonight will move on with hopes of being able to get into the top 4 of 7A Region 1. The loser, their season might be over, and they could play spoilers for the rest of the way.
Yeah, hey, but you don't want that. All right, you don't want that. You don't want to play spoiler. You want to be in the stinking playoffs.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we're talking about the P word already, you know, and that's just how fast the season has gone by here in the 2014 high school football season. Tim, we're already trying to position ourselves for playoffs, and both of these teams need this win tonight to keep themselves in contention for the playoffs.
Well, the Mobile County Public School System is positioning students to be great leaders in the community and great leaders in all the different work areas. We've been talking about what's been happening with the different academies that all the high schools are offering, and tonight we're going to feature a preview of what's happening with the Williamson High School Lions program, where they're going to be focusing a lot on the maritime engineering.
Wow.
Here's a good preview of what's happening with Williamson High School.
I know I have a future in Mobile. One of the best things about living in Mobile is being so close to water. Not only does it offer recreational activities, but vast opportunities for maritime careers. At Wilson High School, our Maritime Center Signature Academy will offer careers in both maritime sectors and prepare students for college courses.
Football is a strenuous game, so I'm used to the pressure. I am joining Williamson's Signature Academy to follow the welding pathway. Look around you. Those ships, high-rises, and apartment buildings stay together because of the work of welding. The welding program at Williamson High School will immediately give me the experience I need to pursue welding training and a career after high school. It starts with me.
Since I'm the future, I plan to make some noise and be heard. The business leader pathway is a gateway to the economy. Look around. The business leader depends on grocery stores, hospitals, Michigan Avenue, and hair stores. Through the Maritime Engineer Entrepreneurship at Wilson High School, I received training and experience to prepare me for the business world. M-E-E, let's go me. It starts with me.
As an athlete, I know the value of having lots of skills and taking opportunities. That's why I'm going to take advantage of Williamson High School Maritime Academy. Everything that happens on land also happens on ships. That means that skilled workers have plenty of opportunities to launch their careers. In the maritime industry, ships need electricians, plumbers, welding, just like builders do. But working in the maritime industry doesn't mean I have to set sail. Look around you. Mobile has been a long leader in shipbuilding, and I want the skills to have a rewarding career on land and at sea. That's why I'm taking advantage of the maritime multi-craft pathway. It starts with me.
From quiet to the kitchen, maritime culinary will enhance my life and start my career. Look around you. Food is an automatic necessity for everyone. At Wilson High School, the maritime culinary pathway will spice up my future. It starts with me.
The Maritime Academy gives me the opportunity to follow a pathway in electrical construction. Look around you. The wire system in your house or at work, your alarm system, and even programming that keeps local industries up and running. That's all done by electrical construction and engineering. The electrical construction pathway at Wilson High School will give me hands-on experience to prepare me for college or workforce. It starts with me.
Williamson High School has been designated as a maritime signature school. We will be offering multiple pathways in 3 different academies so that our students will have chances to become college and career ready. Some will even be able to walk right into jobs when they leave high school. Applications are being accepted now. The new Maritime Signature Program will start with freshmen as they approach their sophomore year. Each rising freshman will be supplied with a Signature Academy information packet. After reading the packet, the student should have a conversation with the parent about career choices. Based on the conversation, the student will select a pathway. For example, if a student wants to be in culinary arts, the student should select the culinary arts pathway and then select the Entrepreneurship Academy. For students who cannot make a decision, those students will default to the Business Leader pathway. Williamson High School has recently received a $555,000 grant to start a welding program and a culinary program, the key components of the school's maritime, engineering, and entrepreneurship signature academies. Don't miss this great opportunity. Get an application either from the MCPSS website or from Williamson. Remember, a great education starts with me. Maritime, Engineering, and Entrepreneurship Academies.
It's no surprise that the University of South Alabama's College of Education can prepare you for an exciting career in public education. But it may surprise you that this same College of Education can prepare you for an exciting career in a broad variety of fields, like these. Contact us today and let us show you the world of career opportunities that are yours through USA's College of Education.
Diesel is a very big industry, and I went into it in the 2-year program at the Bryant Career Tech with Tony Tillman.
When Jacob graduated from the Bryant Career Center, he had earned his diesel credential.
The Career Technical Center taught me a lot, all the way from not knowing anything about a motor or engine to knowing pretty much every single moving part of them.
MCPSS Career Tech. Start your future today.
It starts with education. The fact that we make a difference in the lives of our students every single day. Our teachers work to unleash the potential inside our students, to seize and help guide them to their dreams, to show them with hard work and dedication they can be what they want to be. It starts with business, providing an innovative product or service to people, providing good jobs for hard workers, and learning to go the extra mile and invest back into the community. When businesses work together, it's a good thing. When businesses work together with the school system, it's a great thing for everyone involved. It starts with a community. The fact that we are all in this together. The fact that we want to leave the world a better place for the next generation. It's a powerful thing when people come together for the common good, for a goal that enriches everyone. It starts when we tie it all together, where businesses mentor students and broaden their worldview, when community provides after-school activities, where volunteers give up their time to help students with sports, science, and weekend projects, where industry engages and trains, where we all embrace technology and help tell the amazing stories all around us. Together, we can raise the quality of life for all Mobilians.
Mobile County Public Schools. It starts with us.
Over 30 years, Mobile International Festival has been your passport to adventure. Your trip around the world includes delicious food and drinks, shopping, arts and crafts, musical entertainment, and lots of fun for the entire family. Join us Saturday, November 22nd at the Mobile Civic Center For ticket information, call 208-1556 or go to mobileinternationalfestival.org.
Welcome back to halftime coverage of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights live here on Seymour TV. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain bringing you tonight's 7A Region 1 matchup between the MGM Vikings and the Theodore Bobcats. We've talked a lot, Howard, about the offensive explosive plays that LaMichael P. Ryan has been making. Justin Hosea Williams doing double duty tonight, has a touchdown on the ground and an interception right now. The Vikings had to have quite the halftime speech.
I'm sure they did, and you and I both know how animated and how fiery Coach Mike Dean is.
Give us a preview. Give us a preview of how that could be.
You don't want me to do that because it's not going to translate well over the camera. But we've gotten shots of Mike Dean on the sideline. You know how animated, and how passionate this guy is.
Passionate.
Yeah, he's very passionate. He wants his team to embrace that winning attitude, and it will happen. It will happen. Now the score really isn't very indicative of how the game is going, actually. It's just been a couple of really big plays that were put in by Theodore, but you can't take those away from them, that were put in by Theodore that has put him at a 20-0 lead right now in this football game. But Mary G. Montgomery has played great defense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they played great defense. They've done everything Coach Dean could have asked them to do. Now it's up to the offense, Tim, to come out here in the second half, establish a rhythm and a continuity, put some plays together, and get into the end zone.
3 key turnovers for the Vikings defense, namely the one by Braston Simmons in the end zone after the controversial call earlier in the game. It was a fair catch, and we're still going to have to look back at the replay of that. But we talked about the bubble, the players who are allowed after calling for the fair catch, but a little bit of interference on the play between Miller and Schamberger, and they ended up awarding the ball to the Bobcats, but ended up throwing an interception to Braston Simmons in the end zone, came away with that one, but nonetheless, they have to clean up and they have to start on offense, just doing the little things. We talked about establishing the run game tonight with Williams and Hicks, but the passing game has to become a balance for the offense that the Vikings want to get back into this game.
It's just been tough, again, to get anything going in the run game, Tim. They've tested the outside of this Theodore Bobcat defense. It hasn't worked. They've tested the middle of that defense. It has not worked. They've tried to throw over the top of the defense, and it just has not worked. So it's going to come down, in my opinion, in the second half to offensive line play. If the offensive line can give the quarterback for Mary G. Montgomery a little bit more time to survey the field, go through his progressions and his mechanics of throwing the football properly, I think he can hit a couple of guys that have been open downfield and change the fortunes of Mary G. Montgomery in this ball game.
Well, they've been overcoming a lot of injuries, namely at the receiver position. We talked about David Miller and Chris Burgett going down in the Week 3 game against Murphy, a close battle. And in that one, Murphy was able to come back in the second half. Tonight, Mary G. Montgomery needs to be that second half team as they face a 23-point deficit here at halftime.
Yeah, and I've watched David Miller on the sideline, Tim, and he's in crutches, and he's cheering these guys on as best he can. You know he wants to be out there. If he could throw those crutches down and pull something like a Rudy out here on the football field for his team, he'd do it. But it's not going to happen. So it's up to those other 11 guys on offense to pick up the slack, Tim. They have to do that. They have to take what Coach Dean has told them at the halftime and also take on his personality out there, get fiery, and go after that Theodore Bobcat team and get yourself back into this ball game.
One of the players that's emulating his coach has got to be Patrick Khalifa, who's going to be having to play a major role for this defense if they want to get back into this game into the second half. We'll be right back with second half action in Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
So, what did your child eat at school today? Well, if you're looking for answers, we have them right here. I'm Suzanne Yates, the Food Service Director for the Mobile County Public School System, and I would like to invite you to join me for Cooking with Class, the child nutrition show from the Mobile County Public School System. Come with me as I go into the school cafeterias and talk to the folks who prepare the meals daily for our children. Join me as we go cooking with class.
Welcome into second half action of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain, the Theodore Bobcats leading 23-0 over the MGM Vikings. We'll be right back with more second half coverage of the Mobile County High School Football Game of the Week.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome into second half coverage of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week presented by School Insights live here on Seymour TV. The Theodore Bobcats leading the MGM Vikings 23-0 here at halftime, but the game is far from over. Both of these teams, Howard, in survival mode, trying to get back into the 7A Region 1 playoff hunt, but the Theodore Bobcats have clearly established momentum here in first half action.
Yeah, Theodore has been impressive on offense. Everything they want to do on offense tonight has been working. The run game, the pass game. So it's just been extremely difficult for this defense, for Mary G. Montgomery to stop them in any facet of the football game. Normally you have a better chance to win if you can at least shut down one part of the offense attack. Stop the run. Maybe they can beat you with the pass, stop the pass. Maybe they can beat you with the run. But so far they've been able to do what they want to do as far as the football goes offensively. So again, it's up to the Mary G. Montgomery offense to come out here, Tim, and make some noise.
Jackson with a 14-13 lead over Viger in third quarter action. McGill 21-12 over Bryant in third quarter. Davidson with a 14-13 edge over Murphy in the third quarter. Baker with a 14-3 lead in the third quarter over Foley. A huge battle across the bay tonight. 2 versus 3. Baker, the last time that they made the playoffs, lost to Foley in a huge game. They came down to just a missed field goal on the play, and tonight trying to get a little bit of a revenge and emotional matchup.
Tim, I'm going to step off the football game for just a split second here. Look, I'm going to give props. I got to give props where props are due. I got to give props to the guy that's been playing the music tonight here at Mary G. Montgomery. This guy's iPod is just outstanding. I heard some Yin Yang Twins a little while ago, and I also just got through hearing some Kanye West just a second ago I put on. Man, I'm telling you, this guy knows how to pump a crowd up. His name is Josh Fillingham, and I'm telling you, this kid has been off the hook. I've enjoyed it, man. I've had fun.
Have you been turning in things on the request list?
No, I haven't, but a bunch of the stuff that this guy has on his playlist I have on my own iPod. So, man, he has been pumping it up. And if you look, Mary G. Montgomery has an awesome showing in the stands tonight. Yeah, they're down 20-0, but I'd be hard pressed to believe that a single fan here at this stadium has left, as we have a very young Mary G. Montgomery fan on looking, hoping that his football team, his favorite football team, can get back into the football game offensively.
Well, the Bobcats are going to kick it off as the Vikings have the opportunity to strike first here in the second half, as they're going to take it up the field to the 40-yard line, brought down on the play. JT Moore with a carry, and Golden O'Shea and the Viking offense are going to go back to work, down 23-0 here to start the second half.
Okay, what offensive adjustments can the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings make at the half to come out here and be a little bit more competitive with the football offensively? Down 23 points. There's still a lot of football left to be played, a whole half. Take it one play at a time, string together some plays, get that first score, and build from there.
Riley Egan lining up now at running back. He's a power back, as that we've seen in previous games, as he's going to get his first carry up the right side, flashing some speed as he powers his way up the field for about a 7-yard gain on the play, getting closer to the 50-yard marker.
Yeah, good opening play there by the offense. Just a simple zone read handoff to the right side of the formation. The running back able to surge upfield. Stop right around about the 48-yard line. Great opening field position for the Vikings.
Going to come off with another handoff on the play, a first down and then some. Riley Ian is just electrifying the first couple of plays here of the second half. And it looks like they're going to call him down, but nonetheless picks up a fresh set of downs for his offense.
Tim, I believe Riley Egan on that last play, I think he may have taken a shot to the head. As we look at the replay here, actually fumbled the football, but was able to fall back on it. And after that, he rolled on his back, Tim, holding his helmet. So it's a chance that he may have gotten rattled just a bit, as the training staff are now onto the field tending to him. But he took a really, really heavy shot over there on the right side.
The Vikings have been battling injuries all season, but proving to have a lot of depth and players being able to step up. We've seen a couple of them, as Egan's going to be able to get to his feet and walk off with the training staff.
Yeah, that's always a good sign when a kid can leave the field under his own power. So they'll get him over here to the near side. They get his helmet off. They'll evaluate him, ask him a few questions, ask him does he remember that last play, and they'll evaluate him from there. So I would not be surprised if he may have played his last down for the night. So we'll see. We'll see.
Trevon Hicks now in at running back for the Vikings. 2 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right, and an extra blocker in the backfield. Might have been a false start. 4 flags fly out on the play.
I'm really surprised by that, because there has not been a change at quarterback. There has not been a change at quarterback at all for Mary G. Montgomery. So the cadence from the quarterback, O'Shea, has not changed all night. So if guys aren't sure of the snap count, they should turn their head, look at the football. Once the football moves, you move.
11 minutes remaining here in third quarter action. O'Shea comes out, a delayed handoff to Hicks. He's going to fight his way up the middle. The ball is loose. It's going to be recovered by Theodore. Going to bring it up by a defensive lineman to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. Has blockers 5 and into the end zone on the play. Shannon Gurley with a huge recovery for the defense. A 51-yard recovery and brought back all the way for a touchdown right here. A delayed handoff by Trevon Hicks. He was met in the middle. And Gurley goes for the strip on the play and has a wall of blockers around him as he's able to get back to the other side of the field for the score.
Tim, Gurley came in, and as all the other defenders were standing the running back up, he just came in and ripped the football out. It never even hit the ground. But that's just a heads-up play by the defense to strip the football, and not only strip it, but return it 51 yards for a touchdown.
McCluster comes out, and the kick is through the uprights, taking the lead now 30-0 with 10 minutes and 51 seconds remaining here in our third quarter action. The Theodore Bobcats leading the MGM Vikings in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
It's here, the MCPSS mobile app. It's a way for you to stay connected and informed with all of the happenings around the school district. Receive weather alerts, Check your child's grades and homework, plus more. Watch sports, original programming, find school locations, and read the latest news. Stay connected with all your favorite social networking sites. Download it today for free.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. The Theodore Bobcats leading the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings 30-0 here in third quarter action after a 51-yard strip and score by senior defensive lineman Shannon Gurley, 6', 210, and he was hustling down the field.
Boy, he was a rambling wreck making his way down the field as Theodore kicks off to Mary G.
Dalton Lynch boots this one away. It's going to be taken at the 20-yard line. Back over to the left side of the field and brought down in the middle of the field. Sean Schamberger gets a handle on him, but a flag comes out on the play.
That may be a block in the back or a face mask against Theodore. We'll get the indication from Jimbo Perez. But, you know, Tim, back in the 80s, there was a as we take a look here at that last play,
Trevon Hicks trying to fight his way up the middle, but there's Gurley smartly stripping it away while there is a pile up, and then he's just getting to a second level and hustling up the side of the field.
He has something to tell his grandkids about now.
Well, heck, they better give him that ball.
But, you know,
that might be the only time he scores like that.
You know, back in the 80s, there was a group that was out called Survivor, and they had this song called Don't Stop Believing. You ever heard it?
You mean like Journey?
Was that Journey? That was Journey. I'm sorry. You're right.
Dude.
Yeah.
Aren't you older than me?
Yes, I am.
Dude, 88 was a good year, and I knew about that.
Now,
how can you get that wrong?
It's possible that the guy that's playing the music night, he may want to pump that. Because you don't want this team to give up. Okay, you want them to keep fighting. I know they're down by 30 points here in the third quarter, 10:24 remaining, and the clock is ticking. And Theodore is up comfortably by a score of 30-0, but they cannot stop believing. Whoa.
You're killing me. You didn't know that was Journey?
Come on, Tim. Don't stop.
O'Shea comes out and fires, almost intercepted on the play.
Believing. Go ahead. You got to sing the next verse. Oh, come on,
almost
Tim.
Intercepted on the play as we take a look at the
replay. That's not the next
O'Shea
lyric.
looking across the left side. He's got Elijah Jordan right in his back pocket. And 3 defenders were in the area.
Tim, we're getting attacked by bugs. Really bad.
3rd and 12 now.
Are you wearing something sweet?
O'Shea comes out and gets a huge completion across the middle for a fresh set of downs for the Vikings.
And that's a big confidence booster for the offense as we go back and take a look at it as the quarterback drops back. He's looking for Seth Walsh across the middle. Just a great job of finding a soft spot in the middle of the defensive zone being played by the Theodore Bobcats, picks up a first down.
Shea comes off, hands off to Joshua Williams. He's going to be piled up right there, and talking about ball security is the name of the game tonight. So many fumbles. We've had in the last series with Gurley stripping the ball and then taking it the other way. LaMichael Pirine, 2 fumbles, costly in the first half, but still able to capitalize as we tick under 9 minutes and 30 seconds here in the third quarter. Ball security is going to get breached by both of these teams, Howard.
Yeah, I'd like to see O'Shea do this here for at least the rest of the third quarter.
A quick strike out to the outside, 3rd and about 6 upcoming for the Vikings.
Now, he needs his receivers to get a little bit deeper into their routes and give him an opportunity to deliver the ball downfield for a little bit more than a 2 or 3 yard gain whenever he drops back in the pocket.
3rd down and about 7. Near the 40-yard line, O'Shea comes out, a quick strike across the middle, gets the completion, and is going to be brought down by Justin Hosea Williams on the play, but not until they pick up a fresh set of downs, and the Vikings sideline explodes, wanting some kind of late hit call on that.
Catch was made by Gavin Temple. Gavin Temple was in the slot, and Gavin Temple just simply ran a quick slant. O'Shea saw it right away, hit him in stride, big gain.
Quickly to the line is going to be a handoff to Williams. Is going to fight his way up the right side of the field. A 5-yard gain on the play is going to bring up a 2nd and 5.
Nice gain on first down, Tim. Now that opens up the playbook now for Mary G. Montgomery to do some more imaginative things with the football. Look for a pass here, possibly to Gavin Temple, again from the slot.
Riley Egan back into the game. He went out with a scare during the last series, but back at running back now. 3 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Egan's going to get the handoff to the left side and met immediately on the play.
Tim, and his helmet came off almost immediately. And he is slow to get up on the play, but he's getting up nonetheless. So his helmet came off. He's going to have to come out of the ball game for at least one play. That's the new rule now when your helmet comes off. As we look at the replay here, watch this big hit coming right there. Helmet comes off, just gets separated from his shoulders, and I almost think the defender might have hurt himself.
They come out, and a little bit of a tie-up across the middle. No flags on the play, but it looked as if one receiver was breaking away for the Vikings.
Yeah, that was Gavin Temple, and he really was open. The ball was placed in a very good spot by the quarterback O'Shea, but Temple just could not bring it in. Tim, that would have been a big gain of about maybe 10, maybe 15 yards, but instead it falls incomplete. It's now 4th down.
Down 30-0. Vikings have to go for it. O'Shea stepping up in the pocket, has coverage on the outside, and it's going to be tipped and incomplete on the play. Dalton Lynch was in single coverage out on the right side. And that's going to be a turnover on downs as Theodore is going to start with great field position at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, looking for Trent Laguerre down the right side, just nowhere to place the football. Coverage was excellent by the defensive back for the Theodore Bobcats, and that's another 4th down turnover for the Vikings. And now the defense is back on the field. Right now down 30-0, Tim. 7:37 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
The Bobcats making a lot of waves here on the field. Mobile County Public School System has been recognized for a lot of off-the-field awards nationally, such as the Blue Ribbon and Torchbearer Schools. These are given by the U.S. Department of Education, Howard.
Now, Survivor sung "Eye of the Tiger," right?
You're killing me tonight.
Well, see, isn't that Survivor?
You're killing me tonight.
Come on, Tim.
A handoff on the play as Douglas tries to fight his way to get some kind of yardage. Maybe one, if anything. 2nd and 9 upcoming for the Bobcat offense.
Tim, I was a geek in the 80s, man. You know, I was trying to find out who I was.
But you didn't know about Journey?
It slipped my mind, man.
Where are your priorities?
Look, don't look. Come on, man. Don't look. Don't judge. All right.
I'm not judging. I'm just hurt. Coburn comes out, a quick strike, and Mosley's unable to hang on to it. Thrown a little bit behind him on the play, tried to make an adjustment, and slips right through his hands.
Yeah, you're right, he did. He tried to adjust as best he could, but that was just way too far behind him to be able to pull that in. But he was open. He was open on the on the in route there, the in route by Christopher Mosley, but it ball falls incomplete. Tim, 3rd down. Maybe Mary G. Montgomery can get them off the field and get the ball back into the hands of their offense.
Heavy passing attack as they go to the bubble screen this time and thrown behind LaMichael Pirine. An incompletion on the play is going to bring up a 4th and 9 now.
Yeah, on the screenplay, Tim, the offensive linemen have to maintain their blocks for at least the count of 2 before they release him and let him go back towards the quarterback. That time, the offensive line did not block anybody. There were 3 free blitzers into the face of the quarterback. Was not able to deliver the ball cleanly for the screen pass to LaMichael Pirine.
Vikings line up back at the 30-yard line to receive this one. A low snap. Lynch is able to get it away as he's going to take a bounce creeping towards the 20-yard line where it'll be touched down on the play, and the Vikings will have another opportunity to try to build something here as they face a 30-0 deficit. 6 minutes, 51 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Heavy passing attack for the Theodore Bobcats here in the 2nd half when you think they would go heavy rushing attack. O'Shea comes out for the Vikings offense. A tipped and intercepted pass on the play is going to take it into the end zone. His 2nd interception of the night. Billy McLean coming up with a huge pick 6 right there for about 15 yards. And that is going to continue to extend this lead. 2 defensive touchdowns here in the 3rd quarter for the Bobcats, and the 2nd one comes from the linebacker, McLean.
O'Shea was trying to go through his progressions, Tim. He wanted to go to his first option in the slot. It wasn't there, so he tried to check down to his 2nd option on the sideline, and McClain just jumped the route, tipped the ball up into the air to himself, and took it into the end zone for a 19-yard interception return for a score.
Gloucester comes out, snap is down, the kick is up. And it is through the uprights. The Bobcats have extended their lead 37-0, 6 minutes, 43 seconds remaining here in third quarter action in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week presented by School Insights live here on Seymour TV. The Theodore Bobcats jump out to a 37-0 lead over Mary G. Montgomery here in third quarter action after about a 20-yard pick six by the senior linebacker, Billy McClain.
Yeah, and before that, Tim, they were able to score their 30th point off a 51-yard fumble return by Shannon Gurley. So like you said, so far here in the second half, all the points put up on the board by Theodore have been defensively.
Another kickoff for the Bobcats. The Vikings are going to take it up the middle of the field. They're going to fight their way up to about the 45-yard line as the offense comes out, continuing to try to find answers here tonight.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding. And you can't fault what they're trying to do with the football, Tim. They're just trying to make something happen. And O'Shea was trying to, he's working really, really hard for his guys. He wants to move the football, and he's trying his best as scores begin to come in.
St. Paul's with a 34-0 lead over Williamson in third quarter action. Jackson into the fourth quarter with a 14-7 lead over Viger. McGill 28-19 against Bryant in the third quarter. Murphy now on top 20-14 in fourth quarter action. Blunt takes the lead 13-12 over Robertsdale in the third quarter. Going to be a handoff on the play. Minimal gain for the Viking offense. Second and about 7.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a long second down attempt here for Mary G. Montgomery. And, with the score being 37-0, Tim, you just have to just continue to play your game, I know things haven't gone their way for Mary G. Montgomery, but they just have to continue to just keep playing.
Coming out in the pistol formation is going to be a handoff. Cole Hudson, the new quarterback in for the Vikings offense. It was the original starter battling with O'Shea in preseason, but ended up being converted to a receiver later on just to get enough talent onto the offense. And so now Hudson steps back in as the quarterback here in the third quarter. Hudson comes out. He's going to keep it himself. Runs around the right side. Williams has the ball. He's going to be ripped down after he picks up a fresh set of downs on third down, a 10-yard scramble, and the Vikings get a first down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, and this is just a move by Coach Dean as we take a look here. It's just a simple handoff around the left end, and a good job by the running back of just staying on the hip of his lead block, and after that he just peels off and tries to pick up what he can. But right now the offense needs a spark, so they made a change at quarterback, Tim, to see if they can create that.
Hudson comes out, quarterback keeper on the play, going to be ripped down for a sack in the backfield.
And once again the defense steps up and snuffs out another rushing attempt for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings. At this time the quarterback attempts to hold on to the football. That's Hudson Cole, but just too much defensive penetration that time and brought down behind the line of scrimmage for another loss on the play. That was Austin Lee in to make that stop.
Cole Hudson back out. He's going to hand off to his running back. Williams tests around the left side, explodes out, and brought down to the 24-yard line on the play. 4 minutes, 40 seconds and counting here. Trevon Hicks with the run on the play, getting the Vikings another fresh set of downs here late in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Zachary Douglas made the stop, and you can see as he get out to the right flat, watch him start to hold that ball high and tight right there to avoid anybody stripping the football and fumbling it.
Another handoff to Hicks on the play. Minimal gain is going to bring up about a 2nd and 8 upcoming inside the 25.
Now, This is where we've seen Mary G. Montgomery start to break down, Tim. They start to move the football into Theodore territory, and then some miscue happens, a fumble, interception, and they end up turning the football game over. They can't think like that, have to continue to just run plays.
Hicks and Hudson in the backfield. Hicks is going to get the handoff. He's going to try to test the middle and go nowhere. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5, a minimal gain on the play at the 20.
Now, we've seen rushing success happen in the second half by running the football around the edges. Theodore is starting to work a few guys into the defense, Tim, that don't normally get playing time. So right now, the defense is a little bit more vulnerable around the edges.
Hudson comes out, drops back, rolls out to his right side, looking for a target downfield, lobs it up, and intercepted. Intercepted by Theodore at the 1-yard line.
Just an athletic play. And I'm trying to get the player's number that made that stab out of the air, Tim. I believe that was LaMarcus Hogan that made that stop for the Bobcats. As we look at Cole Hudson roll out into the right flat, he looks downfield and tries to find something. I thought he might have came down out of bounds, but there was an official right there on the spot, and he marked him down at the 3-yard line of Theodore. Possession goes back over to the Bobcats. Another defensive turnover created.
The Bobcats are back at their 1-yard line to start off, capitalizing off of their 3rd interception on the night. They come out and hand off to LaMichael Pirai. No gain on the plays. He just tried to get back to the line of scrimmage on that one.
Yeah, he barely got out of the end zone on that one, Tim, and I said he was at the 3, but I looked at the sticks wrong. You're right. He's at the 1-yard line, and he barely got out of the end zone. So if there's any time that the defense wants to pin their ears back and really come after the offense, now is the time to just run just a full all-out blitz and trust your cornerbacks on the edges.
3 minutes remaining here in third quarter action. I formation, another handoff to Piran, just tries to fight his way through the middle of the field. Going nowhere. 3rd and 9 upcoming for Theodore.
Yeah, he may have picked up one on second down. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long, so they can stop him here, Tim. They should, the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings should be able to get the ball back with good field position.
Coburn lines up in the I formation, 2 receivers, 1 to each side. Has a little bit of room now, but a flag comes out as they blow the whistle dead.
Now, did someone call timeout, or did a flag come? Or okay, we have a timeout.
They got the timeout just before
the flag.
The play was able to get off. 2 minutes, 37 seconds remaining here in third quarter action. Theodore with a 37-0 lead over MGM in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
This is the moment I knew his future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights live here on Seymour TV. The Theodore Bobcats with a commanding 37-0 lead with 2 minutes and 37 seconds remaining here in third quarter action. Howard, when you look at the standings, they are right behind the Murphy Panthers, who they suffered a loss to 2 weeks ago, and because of that, they now have to pay attention to what's going to happen in that close battle over at Ladd People Stadium tonight between Murphy and Davidson.
Yeah, they're in a dogfight right now, and I bet that is an excellent football game, too.
Coburn with a quick strike for an incompletion on the play. Had single coverage, but Braston Simmons, the junior safety, comes across the middle to break that one up, and that brings up a quick 4th down as the clock stops. Students in the Mobile County Public School System has earned 7,307 national certifications in 2014. Students in the Mobile County are graduating college and career ready.
Well, speaking of being career ready, it doesn't appear that I'm going to be ready for a career in singing, because I was told to please not sing anymore, and I was given 2 thumbs down.
A blocked punt in the end zone, and MGM is going to recover for a touchdown.
Wow. Tim, they needed that. They really did need that. They have played so hard tonight, and to come away from this game without scoring a single point would have just been disastrous for this football team's confidence, as there was just way too much pressure. Looks like that was Brayston Simmons that was able to get in first and get a hand on the football, and Mary G was able to recover in the end zone. So that puts 6 points on the board for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings, which unfortunately has not been put up on the scoreboard yet, but we're going to go ahead and give it to them here on the broadcast as the special teams unit. I'll take that back. That's the first team offense that's coming out there for the Vikings, Tim. Looks like they're going to try to go for 2.
Cole Hudson in at quarterback. It's like Josh Williams, the sophomore running back, lined up. There's a little bit of confusion out there.
Tim, they don't have enough players on the field.
As a timeout by MGM. Able to get on the board, Brayston Simmons. How many times have we said his name tonight? Being able to make a lot of plays. He had an interception in the opposite end zone, gets a block bunt on this end zone. Pretty much if you're around the end zone, you got to be looking for number 22.
Yeah, somebody better put a hat on him because right now he's wreaking havoc. And Mary G. Montgomery, again, had to call a timeout there because they only had 10 men on the field. It looks like the running back in the backfield was signaling that should have been a lead back. Joshua Williams was signaling that there should have been a lead back into the football game. He wasn't there. So Coach Dean had to call a timeout and get the right personnel on the field to, again, go for this 2-point conversion.
Talk about a guy taking the opportunities and taking advantage of them. Brayston Simmons, not originally a starter at the beginning of the season, because of injuries, has been able to step up in multiple ways for this Vikings team, and he's making the most of his opportunity. Hudson comes out, rolls out to his right side, and deflected. A flag comes out on the play.
Yeah, ball was knocked down to the end zone by Garrett Akridge. Now, was there pass interference in the end zone? Maybe against Theodore? We'll get the call. I'm sorry, Jimbo Piros gave us the indication so quickly that I totally missed what it was, but I did catch the no good part. So the 2-point conversion fails for Mary G. Montgomery, and the score is going to sit currently at 37-6. Theodore with a commanding lead here in the third quarter, 2:25 remaining.
You're watching coverage of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week.
It started for me when I went into the first grade, and then I went on to George Hall Elementary School, and from there to Williamson, where I graduated. The public school system, it had a great impact on me because not only did it prepare me academically for my future career, but it also prepared me for life. Because of its diversity of students and teachers, it really gave me a well-rounded education.
Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. 2 minutes, 25 seconds remaining here in third quarter action. The Vikings get on the board, but unable to convert the 2-point conversion. Brayston Simmons coming up with a block punt to get them their touchdown on the night. A high kick. Justin Hosea Williams is going to take it at the 5-yard line, cutting back across the field. Going to be brought down deeper than where he received, inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Keflin Montgomery, great job of special teams coverage there as we watch Hosea Williams track the football all the way back down inside of his 10-yard line, but nice job of coming in late and taking him down right there. Again, was Keflin Montgomery. Did you see me doing the sprinkler during the break?
I don't know if I would call it the sprinkler. I don't know really what to call that.
That was excellent, man. I was tearing that up. And you didn't even join me.
I'm not quite sure what to say about what was happening.
Come on. You got to help me out, man. I can't be up here going at it all by myself. I need you, bro. I need you.
So I got to teach you about music and dance moves. Coburn comes out, hands off to P. Ryan, and he's met immediately on the play. 2nd and 10 upcoming after no gain.
I want to see this defense continue to play inspired football. Now, they've trailed all night long, and I haven't seen quit in them all night long. And a lot of the points that are on the board aren't really the defense's fault, but it's going to fall on the defense in the box score, unfortunately. But I want to see this defense continue to play inspired football, Tim. Maybe get the ball back here, pin Theodore deep, get the ball back, and try to hang another touchdown.
Hosea Williams gets the carry now. Breaks around a couple of defenders, sprints out to the 30-yard line, up to the 40, 45, cuts back in, 50, evades a number of defenders, and what a huge run by the junior linebacker, now running back.
That is close to a 40. That's about a 42, 43-yard run there.
One tackle
by Hosea Williams.
Just outruns defenders, cuts back in 2, 3, and finally brought down.
And I think he got brought down, Tim, because he was tired. He was tired.
Perine back into the game, a running back lining up in the I formation. Douglas in front of him, and he's going to get the carry, but go nowhere on the play. 2nd and 9 with less than a minute remaining here in the third quarter. The Bobcats up 37-6.
Yeah, Tyler King may have picked up 2 yards maybe on that run, so that's going to bring up 2nd down and about 8 as LaMichael Perine checks out, and a fresh Hosea Williams checks back into the offensive backfield. We just saw him just totally flip field position just a play ago by running the ball all the way down the field for about a 42-yard run on 1st down.
JHW in the backfield.
Oh, no.
Coburn comes out, a strike across the left side, and Mosley thought he was going to have a one-handed catch on the play, and 2 flags come out in the secondary.
Yeah, and that's going to be pass interference on the defensive back, Malik Brown. I don't think he got his head around, Tim. I think he played the receiver, not the football, as Christopher Mosley was trying to corral that catch. He was interfered with, so that's not a spot foul. Okay, that's a 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference on Black. 1st down.
So that's a 15-yard penalty from the original line of scrimmage. So now the ball is all the way down to the Mary G. Montgomery 30-yard line, Tim. 1st and 10 here late in the third quarter.
You got something wrong with JHW? He's playing good enough to have the abbreviation.
Don't do it.
He's playing good enough.
No, let the kids name him, not us.
Okay. It's just his initials. He's going to get a carry on the toss sweep out to the left side, runs through a defender, and picks up a fresh set of downs for this offense as the clock continues to tick away, looking to take us into fourth quarter action.
Okay, from now on, as we look at the replay, as we see, what did you call him, JHW?
Oh, hold on. Oh, man, I got that wrong.
What did you do?
Yeah, JHW.
It's JHW. You did. You said it right. So for the rest of the broadcast, I want to be known as HLM.
No.
Yes. We've come to the end of the third quarter.
Fourth quarter action coming your way. The Bobcats leading the Vikings 37-6 in the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome into fourth quarter action of the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week, presented by School Insights, live here on Seymour TV. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain, bringing you the 7A Region 1 matchup. The Bobcats with a commanding 37-6 lead here in Viking Nation.
No, that's TDF and HLM, right? TDF.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Tim D. Finnegan. Howard McCain, HLM. Right? TDF, HLM.
We're getting on the abbreviation bandwagon.
May as well.
Are we as cool as Justin Hosea Williams?
Absolutely not. Are you? No.
He's got an interception, a rushing touchdown, a number of other defensive plays. I mean, this guy is just a phenomenal athlete, and he's only a junior.
All I have is a 401k, a mortgage, and 2 kids.
Coburn comes out looking to the right side, throws a low one. He was looking for Christopher Mosley in the end zone, had 2 defenders around him, but a low pass on the play.
Listen, with a 37-6 lead, you would think that Theodore would just sit back and just run the football and shorten this football game, but they're coming out aggressive as we watch the quarterback try to hit his favorite target in the end zone, Christopher Mosley. Ball falls incomplete.
Coburn comes out, has pressure all over the place, lobs one up there. And an incompletion. He was trying to get it out to his intended target to the right side in single coverage, but an incompletion, just a drop pass on the play.
I don't think his receiver was expecting the football because he kind of gave up on his route. But at the last minute, Christopher Coburn tried to throw it in between both receivers. So the receiver closest to the football tried to get to it. Ball hit him in the hands and went out of bounds, incomplete.
11 minutes, 41 seconds remaining in the game. The Bobcats with a commanding 37-6 lead as they face a 3rd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Out in the pistol formation, Coburn and out throws it up to the left side, overthrows his intended target, Christopher Mosley, and just like that, it's going to bring up 4th and 10.
Yeah, and that was perfect coverage over on the left side. Really, to be honest with you, where the football was placed, there was really no chance of the receiver getting to the football. Keflin. I'm trying to give the stop to Patrick Khalifa, but Keflin Montgomery was on coverage, on blanket coverage of the wide receiver out of the left flat. I believe that was Christopher Mosley. Ball falls incomplete. So now this is a 37-yard field goal attempt coming up here by Theodore.
Dylan McCluster coming out to boot another long-distance field goal. It looks like there was a jump in the trenches.
Now, if that's against the defense, well, I'm sorry, actually, that's going to be a false start, Tim, against the offense. So it's going to move the football back another 5 yards.
So remains 4th down.
So now the attempt goes from 37 yards to about 42 yards, but they're still going to attempt it anyway.
We talked about the Keller Farneys of the world, the great kicker for the Murphy Panthers, but a sophomore is Dylan McCluster, 5'7", 198 pounds, and he has got a boot on him. But it looks like it's going to get a tip on the play. It's going to be no good.
Tim, I'm going to give you one guess which Viking got into the offensive backfield and got a tip on that field goal attempt.
I'm going to go with Patrick Khalifa.
Oh, Tim, come on. He's been all over the field. Brayson Simmons.
Oh.
Got into the backfield and got another hand on that.
I should have known. I should have known. Red Zone.
Been all over the field.
Can that be his nickname, Red Zone?
Sure. I bet he'd take it.
I bet he'll take it.
Well, text him and let him know.
I'll tweet him later. I'll tweet him. He follows me on Twitter.
Okay. Tweet him and let him know.
At Tim Finnegan 12.
Tweet him and let him know.
Braston Red Zone Simmons.
Just a nice job tonight defensively. He has not given up, and neither has this team.
The Vikings come back out on offense. It looks like Colin O'Shea is back at quarterback.
You are absolutely right.
They're shifting
well,
around.
You know what, Tim?
Cole Hudson is also on the field.
Yeah, I was about to say both guys are on the field.
We've seen them utilize the packages where Hudson will line up as a receiver, as he does right now in the slot. O'Shea back in the shotgun formation. Hudson, one of the 3 receivers, out to the left side. Trevon Hicks, the running back in the backfield, and it's going to be a tip pass broken up on the play. There were all sorts of defenders in the area as O'Shea was looking to connect to Hudson.
Yeah, that was Garrett Akridge that had dropped back into coverage as we take a look here. Now, as the quarterback surveys the field, he's actually staring down his wide receiver, and when that happens, it's not difficult to defend. So Akers just simply went into a back pedal, into a zone, put his hands up in the passing lane, and knocked it down for an incomplete pass.
O'Shea overthrows a bubble screen on the play as Hicks wasn't ready for it, and quickly it is 4th and long.
Yeah, that's another one of those situations, again, Tim, where the offensive linemen have to hold their blocks for at least the count of 2. But this time, too much penetration into the backfield totally disrupted the timing on the screenplay out into the left flat. It's going to bring up 4th and forever for the offense. So, Tim, they're going to punt this football away.
Looking at the future schedule for the Theodore Bobcats, they're going to be playing Foley, McGill, and Fairhope to finish out the season. Tough matchup happening across the bay tonight with Baker and Foley. Fairhope in action tonight against Daphne. A high punt, and it looks like the punter went down at the end of the play. We have to check the replay, see if there was some interference. But nonetheless, a flag comes out around the 12-yard line as the punter went down.
Now, Jimbo Perez is doing exactly what I was about to say. He's going to pick that flag up because the gentleman that was in, LaMarcus Hogan, was in and almost attempted to almost blocked the kick, Tim. But instead, at the last minute, one of the MGM players pushed him into the punter, and they're gonna pick up the roughing the punter penalty flag, Tim. So now possession is going to remain with Theodore at the 39-yard line. 10:30 remaining here in the 4th quarter, and Theodore with a very commanding 37-6 lead over Mary G. Montgomery.
At this point of the game, They're keeping the starters in. They continue to pass the ball, actually. Maybe it's situational preparation for going forward.
You know, late in the game like this, you can sort of, treat it like a live scrimmage. You kind of work on some things. You have a commanding lead as we get a run here as scores start to come in, Tim.
McGill jumps out now to a 35-19 lead over Bryanton. Fourth quarter action. Jackson 7 points over Viger, 14-7 in the fourth quarter. Blunt hanging on to a 13-12 lead over Robertsdale. Baker now 27-17 over Foley in the fourth quarter. St. Paul's 34-0 over Williamson in fourth quarter action. As they come out and look, Perryman's going to be the new running back, runs through a couple of defenders, finally breaks away and ripped down, but not until he picks up close to a 20-yard gain on the play. The sophomore running back checking in for the Bobcats, Jonathan Perryman.
He's 5'9", 199 pounds, and
good size.
When you look at him, he is every bit of it. This is a thick-bodied running back, straight up and down running style. Tim doesn't bend over as he runs the football, but he is just a load. He took a couple of guys for a run, finally was able to be brought down by Malik Brown, but not after he rambled for enough for a first down.
The Bobcats showing off a lot of their depth late here in the fourth quarter. Three great running backs as they're going to hand off to another one, Douglas, who fights his way up the middle and gets close to another first down.
Tired defense, Tim. This Mary G. Montgomery defense has played a lot of snaps, and as we continue to get later and later into the football game, fatigue is starting to set in. Now, thankfully, we've gotten cooler weather. We're in the 70s tonight and close to zero humidity, so guys haven't had a problem with cramps, but fatigue has definitely started to become a factor as this defense is getting pushed around, and you see a lot of guys, once again, before they get into their stance, they're standing around with their hands on their hips.
Coburn comes out in the I formation. He's going to hand off to Perryman, going to fight his way up the middle. Braxton Simmons trying to bring him down, and he finally goes down close to that first down marker. They are just running right through this defense with authority.
At 5'9", 199 pounds, Tim, when you get tired, when you see him come through the line of scrimmage, we see him busting through the line of scrimmage, he all of a sudden looks like he's about 6'2", 220, okay? When you're tired, and look at the defense yet again, if we can get a shot of them, a lot of guys, hands on hips, they are blown.
Second and short, Theodore comes out and goes with another run. Perryman, the ball is down on the ground. MGM recovers it and bringing it back to the 50, 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15, 10-5, and into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Vikings late in the game. This one comes on a fumble recovery.
Tim, that is going to go down for about a 71-yard fumble recovery and return for a touchdown by Cedric Sewell. As we take a look, once again, but miss handoff in the backfield between the quarterback and the running back, and Sewell is just in the right place at the right time with that huge burst of speed. As we saw right there on the replay, all of a sudden he just had the giddy-ups, and he got into the end zone. 71 yards later, he is into the end zone for a score, and now Mary G. Montgomery puts their second score on the board. The new adjusted score now is 37-12 as the offense comes onto the field led by, is that Cullen O'Shea? I believe that's Cullen O'Shea for a two-point conversion.
Cullen O'Shea and Joshua Williams in the backfield. O'Shea rolls out to his right, tries to hit Hudson, but two flags come out in the end zone.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be pass interference against the defense, so that's going to be half the distance to the goal line, and Mary G. Montgomery is going to get another shot at getting this two-point conversion to the end zone.
Switching out some personnel on the play. Hudson coming off the field.
Retry.
Seven minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the game. The Vikings going for a two-point conversion on the play. O'Shea looking over the sidelines to get the adjustments. It's going to be a quick handoff, and the ball is on the ground. It's going to be recovered by Theodore, and they're going to blow it dead.
Yeah, you can't return the 2-point conversion attempt back the other way for any points. So that 2-point conversion fails for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings.
The Bobcats with a commanding 37-12 lead. 7 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the game as we take a look right here. And just a miscommunication right there on the handoff, unable to get it to Williams. Theodore scoops it up and is going to bring it out, nullifying the attempt. The Theodore Bobcats have positioned themselves to be right there neck and neck in the hunt. We talked about how important that game was whenever they lost to Murphy just 2 weeks ago. That was going to be a momentum shifter for the 7A Region 1 standings as they were the 4th team at that time, but after that loss they dialed back and now they're trying to chase the Panthers for the rest of the season. Murphy, a tougher schedule to finish things out than Theodore, but nonetheless a lot of action happening in 7A Region 1 as we take a look at the standings right here. Fairhope atop in action against 6A Daphne tonight. Baker and Foley in a battle in the 4th quarter right now. Baker out to a 27-17 lead. Murphy and Theodore battling for that 4th spot, but Murphy has the lead over Davidson late in the game and the tiebreaker over Theodore with their victory from 2 weeks ago.
Boy, 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 what a tough region. What a tough.
It's like the SEC of high school football.
Yeah, this year is the SEC West of high school football. It's just a tough region as we get, I believe we have a time. Do we have a timeout? I believe we have a timeout.
The Bobcats lead 37-12, 7 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the Mobile County Public Schools high school football game of the week. Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week presented by School Insights live here on Seymour TV. The Theodore Bobcats with a commanding 37-12 lead over the MGM Vikings. Tim Finnegan, Howard McCain, 7 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in our game. As the Vikings attempt an onside kick, going to be touched and recovered by MGM. Recovered on the play as they cross it to the 45-yard line. A Bobcat player got a hand on it, became a live ball, and a wall of Viking players were able to recover it on the play, led by J.T. Moore, making a huge play for the special teams.
That's just nice. You know, that's just a nice job. And like I said, when the game gets, this late in the quarters and the score is like it is, this is your time to work on those things, Tim, that you work on in practice that you just don't get a chance to try in live ball situations.
Cole Hudson comes out, hands off to Joshua Williams, going to get ripped down on the play. He's able to maintain possession, but it looked like they tried to go for a strip there.
Yeah, just not a whole lot on the outside. That was Garrett Akridge that was able to come up and make the stop after about a 4-yard gain as we watch the handoff here as the running back tries to test the outside, the left side of the defense. Joshua Williams, he's able to pick up about 4 yards.
They're going to come out, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper on the play. Colin O'Shea is going to be brought down after a minimal gain crosses them over into the 40-yard line.
Well, your guy in fantasy tonight, JHW, comes in, Tim, and makes that stop. After about maybe a 2-yard gain, ball is now at the 39-yard line of the Theodore Bobcats, 6:47 remaining in the 4th quarter.
The world needs to know about Justin Hosea Williams.
I agree.
He's a phenomenal player, and he's only a junior.
I agree.
And what's scary about these Bobcats is the fact that they have depth and youth.
Yeah.
And a lot of balance.
Yeah.
Their season is far from over, and tonight they came out, they made a statement. They knew that their season was on a line tonight, especially after they were trying to recover these last 2 weeks after their loss to Murphy. But tonight, coming out and making a statement against the Vikings as they've been on a hot streak, 2 wins in a row. And tonight, the Theodore Bobcats come out and let the rest of the region know, hey, our season is far from over.
Tough catch, just reeled in that time by, I believe that's Darius Clark Banks, who's new into the football game for Mary G. Montgomery. Tim, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Theodore has come out here tonight. And listen, it hasn't been a very impressive performance. They've turned the ball over. At least 4 times. I can count 4 turnovers that they've had tonight. And even in a very sloppy football game, Tim, they have an opportunity to get out of here with a win.
Elijah Jordan limping off after that last play. The senior defensive end had a sack earlier tonight, making a lot of disruption in the trenches. Getting over to the sideline. 5 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in our game. Theodore with a 37-12 lead. As the Vikings are facing 2nd and 10. O'Shea drops back to pass, fires across the middle. It's going to be intercepted by who else?
J.H.W.
His second interception of the night. He had one in the first quarter, has one now in the fourth quarter. Will you get on the JHW bandwagon?
I may have to. I may have to draft him in my fantasy league or go pick him up off the waiver wire or something like that because he is playing like a pro tonight. This time he just watches the quarterback's eyes, drops back in coverage, and he just steps into the passing lane and secures yet another turnover for the Theodore Bobcat defense. And like I said, this has not been the cleanest game that you'll ever see played in high school. A lot of turnovers on both sides of the football. I think by the time it's all said and done and everything's been tallied, we're going to have close to 10 total turnovers in tonight's ball game.
The Bobcats defense has forced 4 interceptions tonight. Extremely impressive for this level of football. Douglas with the carry, a minimal gain on the play is going to bring up a 2nd and about 7. As they're going to try to kill some clock late here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's a smart thing to do. And just get out of here with a victory if you're Theodore. Try to save your guys' bodies if at all possible. I don't see P. Ryan in the football game, and that's a very good decision.
Final scores coming in. Jackson 14-7 over Viger tonight. McGill 35-19 over Bryant. Still in fourth quarter action. Murphy 27-14 over Davidson from Ladd in the fourth quarter. Blunt with a 13-12 lead over Robertsdale in fourth quarter action. A close one over there. Baker 28-17 over Foley. That's going to bump them up into the number 2 seed into 7A Region 1. St. Paul's 34-0 over Williamson tonight, and St. Paul's has been running away with 5A.
Yeah, nobody's been able to touch them.
Key games happening around 7A Region 1 tonight. Big win for the Murphy Panthers over Davidson. Hasn't gone final yet, but late in the fourth quarter. The McGill-Tilton Yellow Jackets get back on track with a win over Alma Bryant. And Baker coming up with a big victory over Foley, getting a little bit of revenge after their last meeting 2 years ago in the playoffs.
Just some impressive football being played down the stretch.
Theodore with a 37-12 lead late here in the game. You're watching the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week between the MGM Vikings and the Theodore Bobcats. JT Moore able to run off the field on his own power. Hopefully it's something minor like just cramping, just needs some hydration on the play.
Yeah, or maybe he just got a stinger. I could see as he was running off the field, he was kind of shaking out his left arm. So he might have gotten a stinger, and if you've ever gotten one of those things, I'm telling you, man, it'll make you feel like you've been paralyzed in one arm. So he's off on the trainer's table, and he'll get some attention.
2nd and short as they're going to hand off to Douglas. He's just going to roll his way to a first down. Perryman and the backfield as the main running back. Almost a 3-headed monster for the Bobcats as they have Perryman, P. Ryan, and JHW.
You gonna ride it, huh? Always a 000 on the clock.
Let me tell you something. It's scary looking at the starters. Now, they do have a lot of seniors playing on the offensive line and on defense overall, but the quarterback, Chris Coburn, only a junior. LaMichael Pirine, a junior. Zyke Pruitt at receiver, only a sophomore. Switching over to the defensive side of the ball, you've got Justin Hosea Williams, only a junior. Sean Schamberger, an overlooked player, but only a sophomore, making a lot of plays in the secondary and special teams. They've got a lot of pieces to build around.
And this kid that just ran the football out of the backfield, Jonathan Perryman, I mean, this kid is only a freshman, Tim. And the way he's running the football.
Sophomore.
So okay, sorry.
Only sophomore.
Yeah, he's only.
But still.
But yeah,
you're gonna get 2 more years out of him.
Exactly. So he has room to get better, and he runs the football very hard.
Coburn with another handoff to Douglas, gonna go nowhere. 3rd and 5 upcoming for Theodore as we tick under 2 minutes remaining here in our game. The Bobcats under Eric Collier have come out and not only captured a victory to get themselves back into the race for the playoff standings in 7A Region 1, but now he will get a new career-high win total with 5 wins on the season.
Well, and they've earned it. They've earned it because I know for a fact they've come in here tonight and they've played hard. And they played hard on both sides of the football. And I'm not saying Mary G. Montgomery didn't do the same. I think they just got a little bit overmatched. And I think that they had a couple of balls that did not quite bounce for them tonight that put them so far behind the 8 ball that it just took them out of their game plan, Tim, and it was just really difficult for them to come back.
Coburn hands off to Perryman. He's going to get out towards that 1st down marker. A late hit is going to bring a flag into the play.
Yeah, and that's when you see stuff like this happen, this chippiness start to happen in the football game, Tim, that's just frustration that is starting to bubble over with these guys. The defense has been out there an awful long time. They're tired. They're frustrated. The score just, hasn't been indicative of how, the game has really gone tonight. And right now, cooler heads aren't prevailing. And there was a late hit out of bounds, and we're going to get the final call here from Jimbo Perez.
Ball, personal foul.
Okay, and that's going to be 15 yards tacked on to the end of that run by Perryman. So that pushes the football all the way down now to the 30-yard line of Mary G. Montgomery, Tim, as the clock continues to tick. 1:13 left in the ball game.
It looks like they're just going to line up in the victory formation and take a knee on this one.
Smart.
As the clock continues to tick away, less than 1 minute in the game, a very impressive win for Eric Collier's Theodore Bobcats in a huge battle to decide the rest of their season. And what they've decided is they're going to build a lot more momentum as they continue to chase Murphy, Baker, Foley, and Fairhope for one of the playoff spots in 7A.
Yeah, and I think Coach Dean has some positive things to take away from this ball game tonight. I thought his defense came ready to play, Tim. Again, a few bounces just did not go their way, and things just kind of got out of hand and went tumbling downhill after that.
Well, you can't say enough about the effort of the MGM Vikings
sure.
throughout the entire game. I think a huge momentum shifter had to be whenever they had a little bit of a controversial call on the fair catch punt return that they had early on in the first half. Nonetheless, it ended up being an interception turnover in the end zone anyway, but it was nonetheless, I think, a spirit breaker for the team.
Yeah, I do too. And, again, when they had a couple of things like they had the strip fumble for a return touchdown by that was Shannon Gurley. And then also they had the pick-off by Billy McClain in the 3rd quarter, Tim, and that just solidified it.
Our final score, the Theodore Bobcats 37, the MGM Vikings 12. We'll be back with a game recap right after this.
It's here, the MCPSS mobile app. It's a way for you to stay connected and informed with all of the happenings around the school district. Receive weather alerts, check your child's grades and homework, plus more. Watch sports, original programming, find school locations, and read the latest news. Stay connected with all your favorite social networking sites. Download it today for free.
Welcome back into the Mobile County Public Schools High School Football Game of the Week. The Theodore Bobcats coming away with a victory tonight against the MGM Vikings. Theodore advances to getting their 5th win on the season and back into the hunt, Howard, with 7A Region 1.
Yeah, and that was a really important win, and both teams knew exactly what they had to do tonight to get themselves back into the playoff picture, Tim. Theodore came in and did what they needed to do. They got out of here with a win by a score of 37-12, but Mary G. Montgomery is going to go home tonight. They're going to lick their wounds because a lot of things happened tonight that just did not bounce their way, and they're going to leave this stadium tonight with a loss, Tim. And unfortunately, they're probably going to have to do, like you said earlier in the broadcast, they're going to have to play spoiler for a lot of other teams as far as them getting into the playoffs.
Well, the Theodore Bobcats extremely impressive on the ground game tonight. A number of players contributing that way. LaMichael Pirine, 2 touchdowns to his name tonight. Justin Hosea Williams having a rushing touchdown and 2 interceptions, 2 of the 4 forced by the Bobcat defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdown runs by LaMichael Pirine, but more importantly, 2 fumbles. And he has to shore that up as Theodore continues to go through their season and try to advance to the playoffs. They're going to need him, okay? And they're going to need him playing at his peak, and he can't do that when he's turning the ball over at an alarming rate. Again, this is 2 broadcasts that we've done now, Tim, and he's turned the ball over twice in those broadcasts. So he's got to work with the coaching staff to try to get with him and learn better ball security if they're going to continue to move forward.
We want to thank all of our viewers from around the world for watching tonight's Mobile County High School Football Game of the Week. Continue to watch coverage every week with us here live on Seymour TV. For our great staff at Mobile County Public Schools, Howard McCain, I'm Tim Finnegan. Thanks for watching.